I lost two characters in Bushido. I don't know if you ever played that the Bushido RPG, but boars were nothing to be effed with.
Oh
Bushido,
man,
you were like you only had 1d6 of hit points. They were like you had between 1 and 5 hit points total as a character, always.
Doug hates brown bears. So Perseus, who was known for going out on adventures and coming back by himself because everyone else in the party died, was on his way back from one of those adventures when he saw a brown bear that practically wiped him out completely. Now, of course, he was one of Bob's favorites, so he had a ring of regeneration. So he would come back anyway. So
Perseus is Doug's Archmage character. He's literally an old school first edition 18th level Archmage. I think he's 20th level, first edition 20th level, something like that.
I hope he has a tower. You can't be a first edition.
He has a city.
Tower.
He's 21st level.
21st level, okay.
And he does have a tower right next to the forest where the elves live.
Who hate him,
given the job of making sure that people didn't go through the elven forest.
The hall monitor?
Kind of.
Kind of like the hall monitor.
The elves hate him, though. He chopped down a bunch of their forest.
He's such a dick.
Hey, chaps.
He'll always be counted.
Hey, Eric, I didn't see you there, bud. How you doing?
I'm great.
Up, Eric.
Harmless observer.
All right, harmless observer tonight.
I roll for a perception roll to see if I see any demons with spoons in the bar.
No, but there is a suspicious-looking drow with a soup ladle in the bar. You're not sure what that's about.
Hang on. I draw.
Where's Mike?
Mike's here. Or he was here.
Stepped away from his computer, but
Is he?
he's logged on.
Jennifer's not logged in. Let me go see what she's up to.
Okay.
Yeah, he's here.
I don't see Mike.
Those are some sweet first edition creatures there you got in your picture.
His video's running. He's
Modron.
His video's running. He's on mute. He's just
those
not
are?
there.
They look like two of them look like from the Empire of the Petaled Throne.
You have to resize your cameras, maybe.
I'll be right back.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I had to resize my cameras.
A lot of older men have that problem.
I took a couple of Nikon tablets, though. It should be fine. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm good. It was,
Yeah?
wasn't working my ass off like I was last 2 weekends. I'm much happier and healthier. How about you? I hate humid weather, so this is nice fall weather outside.
Mhm.
Perfect for me.
Same here. We have been trying desperately. Our landscapers are done, and we're desperately trying to keep our grass from dying. Our new grass.
Did you save any money, or did you spend it all on Kickstarters this last week?
No, I saved a little money, but
You like that rumor one I sent you? I thought that was genius.
I did think that was pretty cool. It was a good one. I'm considering sponsoring it. I think it's still up, but yeah, there's so many of these good Kickstarters, these interesting Kickstarters, and I'm a junkie for that kind of stuff. You can get some really great deals on stuff.
I think I invited you to the TSR old school Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great.
Hey, Gordon, what's your Kickstarter budget annually? Will you even say it out loud?
Is it $1 million?
Yeah.
I spend 1,000 maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
Wow.
Well, if he's a gamer. If he's a gamer husband, he's supposed to say, "No, honey, I didn't buy it this year. I bought it like 2 years ago. They just finally shipped it to me. I didn't spend any money."
Collectible stuff. No, I get just weird, funky collectible things that I think might be, worth money 30 years from now. Just fun stuff.
Very
What
cool.
the kids are going to love. They're going to be so excited about that in 30 years.
The last thing I got was a botanist tarot deck that is all like these intricately detailed flowers and plants and things. All
Really?
into a tarot deck, which it's beautiful artwork. I just thought it was fun.
I have a tarot deck of all things, so I have it within reach just in case of I have to oracle or something. But it's I don't know if you can read it. It's called the Deviant Moon Tarot. I got it for like $2 from Wish, but I'm trying to figure out a way to use it in game because I got these other things which are called soothe cards from Invisible Sun. Invisible Sun is one of those games. It's a Monty Cook game, and it's really weird and really cool, and nobody will ever play it. But it comes with these cards, which I printed out, and they all have like powers in the game, and I want to try and do that for when we finally get back together and we're gaming in person again, and I start running Strange Aeons, which is sort of a Lovecraft themed adventure path. I'm working on figuring out a way that I can use tarot cards and soothe deck cards as part of the game for players to individually like have powers or things that are associated with it.
Played like in the late '80s, early '90s. We played the Ars Magica campaign that we used tarot cards.
Okay.
Did anybody ever play Ars Magica? It was, you always had two characters. You had like all your thrall characters or like your serfs and then one mage character, and then as each campaign it rotated between each character's mage, and everybody else became basically the subordinates to that mage. It was kind of fun.
Wasn't Ars Magica the first game that the president of Paizo wrote? I want to say that the CEO of Paizo.
We went Ars Magica, then right into Pendragon, and then Prince Valiant. So
Lisa
Pendragon is
Stevens,
a great system.
all right, so Lisa Stevens is the CEO of Paizo Incorporated. Let me see. I know I'm right about this. Stevens joined a couple of guys to the game company Lion Rampant, which published Ars Magica in 1987.
Look at you!
Yeah.
Wow. If this was Gamer Trivia edition, you would have won a prize.
So she went from Ars
Winning for
Magica to
Jeopardy.
Wizards of the Coasts to Paizo, to founding Paizo, based on the open gaming license from Wizards of the Coast, which she convinced them to do.
And she's a woman in '80s gaming world. That's a rare breed.
Yeah, no kidding.
There's a character of Sheila Jackson, Gary Jackson's wife, in the
Mm-hmm.
Knights of the Dinner Table series, is like a very hard-boiled, super female GM/owner of their version of Wizards of the Coast.
Awesome. All right, so are we missing anybody? Where's Mike's not back yet?
We don't need him.
I was just monologuing until Mike got back.
Oh,
Can't
okay.
do anything without him.
We
He
can't
just
do
doesn't want.
anything.
He just doesn't want to face the row.
He doesn't want to face those drow that are onto him with his Driz Jordan scam name.
Yeah. I told you those Groucho Marx glasses weren't going to work.
So they'll never figure that out. All right, so I getting the game up here. All right, so last time we did a lot of interesting things, a lot of stuff crammed into there, but a lot of exposition. So you guys are new to Alushinyrra. You guys are, sort of introduced to the city. It's mind-boggling how big this place is. It's an island about the size of Manhattan, but with twice the population of Manhattan. So think about how crowded that would be on the streets. Those of you who have been to New York City, you know how many people there are, and it's just think about, all right, jam twice that many in there, and they're not people, they're demons and tieflings and other creatures of sordid nature. You guys and drow and planar travelers, creatures, and frankly, a lot of creatures that you just simply cannot identify as being, you're not sure if they're demons or if they're other creatures. I mean, there's a lot of weird looking individuals in Alushinyrra. You guys managed to retrieve your portable hole with the people in it, and Gatto's backpack, got that all back from the tieflings, sent them on their way with the exhortation to look for Xanthir Vang on your behalf. The likelihood of these guys ever doing anything for you guys after you kill their friends and that kind of stuff, and the rest got sold into slavery, or at the very least you protected several of them from getting sold into slavery. Unsure, unlikely, but you did that anyway. Then you took a cab through the city to the Worm and Pyre, the premier tavern and inn and hotel for travelers, non-demonic travelers to Alushinyrra. It's not reserved exclusively for primes, but according to the
Now it is.
I'm sorry?
Now it is.
Now, according to keep in mind it's a big place. I mean, it's a hotel that could probably fit, I mean, by your estimation, maybe 500 to 1,000 guests at any one time. And so it's not small. And it's got a lot of people in there. So I mean, even in the lobbies of this place, but it does. You see people going back and forth, and the bars are packed, and the restaurants are sort of thing. It's pretty swanky, which you guys like. You guys got a suite of rooms on the 11th floor, so that's all good. I believe that that Gatto and Flash are enjoying a late supper as we speak, before you guys turned in. I think the cold supper was brought up, but it's a lot like an elaborate breakfast. So you only one person laughed. Only Dan laughed. He's like, "That's a Saturday night joke." But so you guys are staying there. You guys have met the proprietor, an Ifrit named Belisarius, who I stole from 13C. And
No, that was not 13C. It was the previous Sunday night one.
It was
Council of Thieves.
Council of Thieves, yeah.
Yep. And the Wars
Council
of
of Theaters, Outer Plains.
Yeah, Council of Thieves, Outer Plains. I like that. And then so you met him, got settled in, and you met a couple other people. One, Felipe, who is well, at first glance, well, he works for the hotel. He's an employee of the hotel, and at first glance looks like a gnome, but has some features that are decidedly ungnome-like. So you're not sure what he is actually, but he looks kind of like a gnome. But anyway, you put him on the trail of going down to the Fleshmarkets, the slave marketplace, and looking for any evidence that either Sivar or is that Chuck? I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Sivar or Sivar?
Sidebar.
Sivar. So Sivar or Jesker Helton had been brought and sold in the flesh marks. While demons are chaotic and not necessarily all that great, they do keep pretty decent records when it comes to business is business, right? So he was going to go down there and see what he could find out, looking over the sales records for the past couple of months, see if he could find out any information on them. You guys also gave him 50 gold, or set up 50 gold pieces for his expenses, so that he could have some money to throw around, and then he would come back. You also met Yardley, the wireman, the little demonic creature who flew to your window and offered his services and stole some of the food off of the plate, and a bottle of demonic vodka to take with him. But you put him to see if he could find the location of Minago, whom he knew about. I mean, he had heard her name and that kind of stuff. So you sent him sort of out to go find that. And then basically you settled in for your first official day in Alushinyrra. We talked a lot about the result, the reason that you're here. And just as a reminder for Don, it is not to become slavers or make deals with demons.
I heard, okay? I'm learning. I have to ask questions in order to understand.
Just wanted to bring it up again. That's okay. You never know. So
just have Farina spray you with a squirt bottle every time you do something.
Nope.
Bad, Gato. Bad. You are bad. But yeah, so we talked a little bit about. So one of the things that you have to do is while you're here is the job that you're here to do, just to remind you, is to sort of torpedo the deal between the Baphometians, who are working in the World Wound, who are trying to get access to the unfettered access, legal access, I guess for lack of a better term, to the Nihydrian crystals that are being mined here. And so you need to scupper that deal with Nocticula, between her and the Baphometians, as it's come to pass that you guys have learned that they're trying to get a deal put together, at least so that they can operate freely. Right now they're essentially smuggling the Nihydrian crystals out. You borked the refinery and closed that permagate, which was good. That's going to put a serious disruption in their plans, especially Minago, who is now 0 for 2 when it comes to fighting you guys. She's probably bent on revenge right now, and so you're gonna have to probably find her. But that's part one. Part two is to find the Nihydrian mine and see if you can torpedo that as well in the same fashion that you did the Niohydrian refinery. Try and put a stop to the mining operation that's going on there. So that's why you're here. You've managed to secure safe lodgings, because one of the things that Belisarius says is that no demons or demon-like creatures or demonic creatures are allowed into the Worm Empire. So it's one of the selling points, because primes can sometimes get in trouble in this town.
Isn't he a demon?
He's an Efreet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's catering to a certain clientele. But yeah, so you've got a safe place to stay. You guys are ensconced at the Worm Empire. You pass the night without incident, and you wake up the next morning, such as morning in the Abyss.
We lock that
mean,
window so when our breakfast shows up, little Peter from outside doesn't come in and eat all our breakfast.
Okay. And yeah, at about probably an hour or two before what you would gauge as mid-morning. It's hard to tell, and your sort of cycles are all messed up, because here, like we talked about, it's always dark here. Sometimes it's a little lighter dark, and sometimes it's a little darker dark, but it's always kind of dark. It's not like in the astral plane where everything sort of is like grayish.
I'm actually loving this then.
Yeah, as a drow, I mean, you've only grown.
Most of the time, I'm walking around with
welder's mask.
Well, that too, but cloak up over my head, kind of all Jawa style. So it's nice not to have to be that way all the time.
Yeah, that's what drow get it. They always travel in single file to hide their number.
Right, we'll do that too.
So, but yeah, one. So I mean, Illandar, you've managed to train your eyes to accommodate sunlight, but yeah, like you said, you always wear your cowl. You're much more comfortable.
But it's still not a pleasant thing. He's still, anytime we're outside, he's always got the thing pulled up over his head, and pretty much, like I said, it's kind of like a Jawa, except it doesn't have the glowing red eyes. Yet. That's why when I'm angry.
We're working on that. So you've got some guys out there looking for things. You've got some ideas. We talked a fair amount about how to build up notoriety to get an audience with people. Don't just walk into the House of Silken Shadows and talk with Nocticula. That doesn't happen. It'd be a good way for you guys to get killed. But if you need to, you guys figure the best way to sort of torpedo this deal with the Baphometians would be to talk to her and tell her that I don't know what you want to tell her, but
say I'm telling, and then tell on.
And tell on the Baphometians that they're already mining the stuff. I don't know, but getting an audience with her is very difficult, and we talked a little bit about how to do that. You have to increase your notoriety score to a number. We talked about the variety of ways to do that, including showing your true colors as good aligned prime material creatures. Getting into fights and doing performance combat, which we talked about last time, sort of fighting with Ilan. Entertaining the succubus who runs a place called, which is I think a stupid name, but it's out of the book, is Rapture of Rupture, which I don't know where they come up with this shit, but that's not a name I would have come up with, so I apologize in advance. But anyway, this is a show place. If you guys have some sort of entertainment that you could do to get her attention, become popularized, people hear your names, that kind of thing, you might get the attention. You also can fight in the arena. There is Gelderfang, who fights in an arena called Battle Bliss, who is widely regarded as the local champion. Beating him or even challenging him might get people's attention. And then hunting down and fighting Minago. People know her here. She's escaped you twice, but you've ruined her operations twice. And Flash is probably pretty stoked to go after her, since she what's the word I'm looking for? She pretended to be impersonated.
Impersonated a hero of the Paladinhood.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. So I mean, Iomade, Deus Volt. Iomadeus Volt. Iomade demands it, and that would be Minago's. But killing Minago would get the attention. It certainly would it certainly would raise eyebrows in certain circles and cause talk, especially if you guys have been making a name for yourself previously. So now it comes sort of back to you guys. Now that it's day, breakfast arrives. It's delicious. It looks like rock egg omelets with rashers of some sort of abyssal boar bacon and things like that. It's absolutely fantastic. Cooked to perfection, and they bring it in a tray. There's a couple of people. They uncork a few bottles of breakfast wine for you and leave you in peace to discuss what you're going to do next.
So we got, as far as I know, we got two things. One thing that I've been thinking about since last time we played, and I don't have an answer, so I'm just going to throw this out to everyone. With the drow that have ID'd my cover.
Well, I mean, they just sent you a note.
I used a real name just to make it a little more believable. And they're like, oh, yeah, we know you, or we know of you. So I'm like, ah.
Well,
so, they don't know of me, but they know of the family.
They certainly know of the family. And my Drizzt lore is a little rusty, but Drizzt comes from the number one house, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
What house is he from? He's from House Banner or something like that, right?
House Bainray.
Banray, okay. And then, hold on. Googling.
If you've ever seen My Cousin Vinny, what he does now is not Gallo, Tallow.
So House Banray is first drow house of Menzoberranzan and has been for centuries. So yeah, I mean, so they certainly would have recognized the name because this is a big deal. What they're unlikely to have is to know Drizzt in person,
Right.
especially since he left. So so it might be a trap. It might be that they're trying to curry favor.
Right. So the way I see it, we've got two ways to play this. Keep the facade up and see what we can learn from them. Illinar would be against any kind of alliance with Drow just because of the predicament he's in.
It's a good thing he doesn't hold
left them
the rest of
because
the party to that.
What's that?
It's a good thing that Illinar doesn't hold the rest of the party to that measure.
Well, yeah. No, anytime any of them have said anything about trusting Drow, Illinar is the first one to say, absolutely do not ever trust a Drow.
Yeah, both are, I think we
I
need to
never
add
have.
Devils and Drow.
And Drow.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Drow. Always.
Illinar's always been adamant, do not trust a Drow. And anyone who would joke back with him, what about you? He's like, you know what? Take me for what I do, don't trust what I say, just, yeah.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
So yeah, he's adamant about,
Do we have to have the deal-making conversation again?
No, they're just adding guys to it. So,
so like I said, it wouldn't be Illindar's first choice, but making deals might give us an in for whenever we have to go to Menzoberranzan.
This has to be like Wild West for Drow. I mean, they're all mostly lawful evil, aren't they?
Yeah.
Being around a bunch of demons has got to be like crazy to them.
Yeah, this is the Wild West to them.
well, yeah, but Drow are also prodigious slavers, and Alushinyrra is the single largest slave market in the Abyss, and potentially in the entire multiverse. So,
and Drow are intelligent, and
Yeah,
they realize that demons are amazing tools. They're not going to tell that to their face, at least the ones that are more powerful than them. But they realize that,
Are you saying tools is like useful, or as like they're just like
Both.
total like
to them both, but no, both. I mean,
evil bros?
they realize that, you know what, if we can get this powerful demon on our side, that's an advantage that we can, that we can use and that we can exploit to get ahead.
And also, what you know about these guys, especially if they've signed, so this Kalamin and Mere are of House Druger. And one thing is that it's 14th House Menzoberranzan, but it's also one of their notables is that they are a house that is very mercantile. In Menzoberranzan, it's House Druger that handles a lot of like banking for the houses and money lending. They're very wealthy, but very mercantile focused. And historically, they don't get involved in sort of the internecine house issues that take place in Menzoberranzan. They don't have enemies. They're very commercially focused.
Okay.
Their position as 14th houses due overwhelmingly to their wealth.
Right. So like I said, we can try and use them kind of like a drow would do, or we can take the other drow approach and just eliminate them since they're a potential.
I think we need to see if how entrenched they are in this city, and what their influence is here. I mean, if they are influential, then knocking down a couple of powerful drow is probably not the best way to start this.
No. Well, the other thing is if what Les was saying, if one of the things we're going to do is come out in the open and say, hey, we're a bunch of good guys just to get a name as we do these fights, then obviously me being from an active drow family hanging out with a bunch of good guys isn't going to fly.
Well, all I can see is them finding a way to use that against you. But are you in active danger from them, or can we just, or what do we have to do? We can make it look like an accident. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, I'm the paladin.
You're a paladin. No, this is
like
how
the book.
Flip. Again, no.
I'm making it look like an accident. Oh no, that's out too.
All of a sudden, we've got an amazing fighter standing next to us.
Like, I'm just wondering, like, is there a weird guild or something we can pay to get them off your back, and so we can focus on what we have to do here, or do we need to, like? I don't think it's going to be very easy to convince them that we're anything but what we are. Ultimately.
I've got a pretty good bluff.
Okay.
They see drow down here. That's probably not going to be that hard to sell.
Right. But since you're trading on a famous family's name, is that going to cause you problems?
Not if they don't find out about it.
I can see that going both ways. I can see it, yes, cause a problem, or I can see them being blinded by the fact that they're wanting to get in good graces with the most powerful family. So
you don't think they're onto you yet? You think they want? I got it. Okay.
No, at least right now. But like I said, I'm not who I say I am, and the more I interact with them, the better chance they've got to discover that I'm not who I say I am.
Well, yeah. Could we do something where you just stand on the corner of the room looking dark and mysterious, and other people do the talking for you, so they think you're bigger, larger than life than you are? You see what I'm saying? Is like the less they get to talk to you personally, the better your cover holds.
Who did you say you were exactly? I don't remember exactly who you said you were.
No, I didn't say dress, but I said I was from House Duerden.
House Bainray.
Or yeah.
You said you were Drizzt.
You said you were. He said he was a Duerden.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Dritz, but a Duerden, which would lead back to House Bainray.
Right.
Just take the caravan guard with you. You'll pass the detect evil, and everything will be good.
Yeah. Some strong evil coming from somewhere over there, so I think we're good.
You're welcome.
Strong evil coming from it's over there.
So like I said, a lot of how we interact with the drow depends on our angle to get noticed and to get an audience with the super demon chick. I can't remember her name.
Not Alushinyrra. That's the name of the city.
What's the name of the chick we're trying to get an audience with, Les?
Nocticula.
Nocticula.
That's right.
So, and as far as seeing her,
she's a demon lord too. Right. So just keep that in mind.
This is my take on that, based on if I've understood everything correctly from Les. We just need to get noticed. Once we get noticed, and once we get enough cred, street cred to our name, I would be up for going to her and just basically doing the whole telling thing, and then basically say, look, the enemy of an enemy is a friend. So for right now, we just want you to have our back, and we'll go. I
think it's the only way Flash could be on board is if
or basically made a fool of you, or crossed you. let us, just have our back, but we'll go take care of them for you. And that way, as a demon, she'll see benefit to that. And then I don't have to roll this like 67 bluff check to try and out bluff a demon lord, which I don't think I'm that good. So I think
bluff a demon lord?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's going to be a tough check.
Sounds like a great game show, though.
Can you out bluff a demon lord?
Right. So
let's meet our first contestant.
Not really to take the honest approach, but kind of, take the honest approach and just get noticed. And then when we do get with her, say, look, this is what we want. It aligns with what you should want too. So I'm just proposing for this little bit.
We know things that she doesn't know too, right?
What's that?
We know things that she doesn't know that might persuade her to want to change some of the things she's doing, which is the whole point of this, right?
Well, that, and then plus, like I said, one of the things we know that she doesn't know is that she's getting duped.
Right. I mean, that alone should be worth something.
I'm hoping that should be worth something. And then if we just come, like I said,
rumor get her attention right there. If we were to put the rumor out in the street that she's getting duped, seems like any self-righteous demon.
I'd rather be the one that gets credit for giving her that information.
Yeah, you don't want to make public things with chaotic evil creatures.
Yeah.
She's going to get pissed
Best
off.
way to get her attention.
Right. I'd rather get her attention to where she's interested because we're making waves. And so she sees us as not a threat, but she sees us as a force, so to speak.
Oh, that's much
once she's got at least a tiny bit of respect for what we've done, then we use that to bring that information, hopefully get cred with her enough. Like I said, I'm not going to, raise kids, living in a house next to her and, go to barbecues with her, but at least, look, the enemy is a friend. So right now, our goals align. So let's trash the people who took advantage of you. And
I get what you're saying. Making that public would be a bad thing. But what about just getting that note to her quickly that, listen, we're here. We feel like we have information you don't have.
Right.
Commonly aligned. I mean,
I think
or is that going to be against the game? That
have a reputation. I mean, she's not going to listen. She's not going to take us seriously unless we have a reputation established.
Yeah, I agree with Gordon. I think we need to get some, so to speak, street cred built up with her before we, because if a bunch of good guys show up that she has no idea what our powers or what our goals are or what we're trying to do, if we just show up, hey, we're showing up to tell you people are screwing you over, I think it's going to fall on deaf ears. It's like, yeah, right, I'm a demon lord, go away.
Or she'll say thanks and kill us all and then go do
right.
What do,
But like I said, if we build up the street cred, get it to where she's like, okay, this is, I don't want to say a force to be reckoned with because she could wipe us all without even trying.
Well, she takes you more seriously. If you just walk up to the front gate of the palace and ask one of the guards to give her a note that says she's being duped, I mean, that note's never going to get there.
Yeah, we can't cold call her. It needs to be a warm call. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need the good leads.
Yeah, we need her to have at least a semi-interest in us as well.
I think because the way the game is set up, that's the way we should do it. But if I was in her position and somebody got a note to me that there was a bunch of good guys that don't belong here at all in the first place, under the radar telling me that I might have a problem I didn't realize I'd probably want to get with them. But to Gordon's point, after I was done getting the information, I would be more likely to kill him. But I don't know what kind of credibility we're going to build up that she's not going to want to kill us anyway after.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
That's true.
He comes in here for you guys and not me, right?
I know.
We know, yeah.
He just said mostly as he went out the door.
and to see himself on camera.
Let's do
it.
I
see what you're saying, Jennifer. I mean, but at the same time, she's a demon lord. I mean, it's like, so a couple of things. One, you might not be the only good character.
Yeah, we're not behind enemy lines here. We're just not. This is an open down low. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you might not be the only good aligned people in the city. Probably, I mean, in a city of 7 million creatures.
Yeah, we're definitely not.
There's bound to be a loose neutral good kicking around somewhere.
7 or 12, because New York has 8 million, right?
No, New York does not have 8 million. You're talking about all 5 boroughs. I'm talking about.
thinking Mexico City has 8 million.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're talking about Manhattan specifically.
Yeah.
I'll find out in a second.
I think Manhattan's daytime population is 3.5 million, at least according to Wikipedia.
By the way, I sent you I linked you a CNN article in Rule 20. I just thought it was funny. I think you probably heard about this game before. It's been going on for since the 80s. D&D.
Oh yeah, I just sent that same link to Les.
He's got 60 players. I'm like, come on, Les. 60 players. You need to pick up your game.
60 players? How is he handling 60 players at one time?
I don't know. Yeah, you're gonna have to read the article.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Having multiple DMs and
Yeah, sub DMs.
He's got a pole barn. He's got them all housed in. I don't know. It's crazy. I'll read it.
I'm just the initiative DM. Once you get past
that, like a barista kind of thing. You're the frontline GM.
Here's your initiative, honey. Okay, so, but yeah, I mean, there's probably more good aligned creatures, or at least, at the very least, neutral aligned creatures. I think, Alushinyrra is ostensibly a slave market, but it's also a market for a great many other things. And there could easily be cultures, countries, places in the plains or on the prime material where slavery is an accepted part of existence, but it doesn't necessarily strike them as being evil. Whereas in our culture we consider it evil, but some other cultures may not.
Some of them aren't. Yeah, that's the way it is. So yeah.
Actually, those that have slavery don't consider themselves evil.
That's true. Well, it's very rare that you have people going, "Oh yeah, I'm evil."
Yeah. Oh yeah,
for sure.
But
it hardly ever shows up on LinkedIn.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just going to put up on my LinkedIn page, lawful evil marketing guy.
That's just redundant.
I'm tweeting that.
So I guess which avenue do we want to take as far as getting that notoriety? So I know, like I said, if we're going to be out of the closet good guys, then I think we need to take a different approach. And yeah, a different approach if we're not going to basically play the bad guys that, we're just here to kill a bunch of things and do whatever. So yeah, I'm having a hard time voicing that right, but
why don't we not declare ourselves the
Are we going
good
to be good guys? Are we going to be open good guys, or are we going to hide the fact that we're good guys? That's the main thing I'm asking.
Me personally, I'd say we hide it to begin with and go for a big reveal later. That way we got a little more, stake in the game.
Here's the thing: 2 of us radiate good auras.
Yeah, Flashheart has a radiating, brilliant sword that's
my
golden sword that radiates goodness.
He's a lawful good paladin with an Iomedean sword.
My aura might be a little shaky the last couple of days.
I'm a lawful good cleric, and I have a bow that is in some way connected to my deity as well. So there is no way that we're going to be able
several
to
holy
pretend.
weapons. Yeah.
There's a question. Is there such a way to hide your alignment? It seems to me that there is no way, but is there a way to activate?
There are spells that can do it. I think it's not called hide alignment, but let me see.
Pretty sure a couple of the demons we came up against did hide their alignment on us.
They did, yeah. So undetectable alignment is the spell. It is a 2nd level spell.
Arcade
conceals the alignment of an object or creature from all forms of divination.
Is it arcane or is it divine?
It is
Divine.
Cleric Oracle 2, Paladin 2.
So yeah, it's a divine spell.
It's divine.
It might be something I can cast then. I mean, I don't know. I have that. That's not a spell that I have.
I don't know, what
3 little
I can't
spells.
imagine a paladin would have hide alignment on his spell list.
Yeah, and I would check with the phylactery before doing
He
something.
might
like
cast it on himself if he's in like a demon or devil plane.
I mean, is anybody got to ask or care if we're good or evil or neutral? That's not something like you walk around and say, "Oh, look, it's a good party." I mean, just don't bring attention to it. Don't
It's not
talk
like being
about
in
it.
Shield. Or,
This If this is really like New York, nobody ever wants to make eye contact with you. They just want to get along with their day.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, right. I mean, we're trying to make
look
an
at
issue out of
lawful guys over there.
probably not an issue.
Don't ask.
Unless Gatto can make us all caravan guards, then we'll fit right in, right?
That's got to up our notoriety.
I can get some more disguise kids.
Yeah.
Well, you look like a drow right now, right?
Yes, I do.
Karina's not much use in this agenda when it comes to like she's a xenophobe. She wants to be the hell out of here. This is the most uncomfortable, horrible place in the world for her and Otto to be. So if I'm going for the fast kill, I mean, I want the big bang. I don't want to jerk around with a bunch of little street fights and little performances at the local theater. And I want out. I mean, I'm willing to take some risk to get out, but that's just where my head is at. Otherwise, I'm drinking in the corner.
Thus, did Belisarius seem kind of open to, did he seem like a gossipy kind of guy, or was he more like all business and?
It was very perfunctory, your initial meeting with him. Right now, he just assumes that you guys are the latest in his latest customers. So when you spoke to him, I mean, he was reasonable, that kind of stuff. But
well, we know he's at least kind of chatty because they found out my name, and
well, that's true.
And he was the only one that I told my name to.
To Belisarius?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I'm thinking, Mike, is maybe we talk to him about these guys and maybe even confront him and say, did you talk to these guys? Do you have a relationship with them? Who are they? What are they? Maybe
that's not a bad idea. Just say, hey.
Well, the other option, or at least another option, their letter to you was quite respectful.
Yeah.
And again, if they're the 14th house and they're trying to make connection to someone they think is in the number 1 house in Menzel Baranzan, if you write them back a similarly flowery letter that declines the meeting, what are they going to do?
True. Belisarius might actually know why they're trying to meet, though, and he might be able to fill in some blanks, possibly.
But it's not a bad idea he seemed very accommodating to all of his guests, so.
It's not a bad idea to talk to him before we send back our reply.
Right. Find out what he knows. And yeah, let's do that first, and then we'll.
As far as gaining notoriety, Gatto has volunteered to be part of a tag team match in the arena, but that's about all I am volunteering to do right now.
Well, you're disguised as a drow.
Yeah.
Do you speak Drowish?
I do speak Undercommon.
That's different from Drowish.
It's different from Drowish.
Yeah,
I learned
okay.
Undercommon. I didn't
It's
learn
like Creole drow.
Yeah, in the rules, there's no drow language.
Yeah.
Because a drow starts off just speaking Undercommon.
Really? Okay. I'm surprised actually that there's no language drow.
They just say it in a
I'm
snootier.
just saying rule-wise.
They just say it in a snootier manner. That's how it sounds.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's Undercommon with a British accent.
Yeah, it's like speaking English.
A British accent, you say?
And not one of Les's British accents. Because Les's British accents are just common.
Did you guys just see a redheaded drow go by? We got to get out of here.
Still working on it. I'm still working some stuff out.
Good day, mate.
If everyone's cool with that, I say we send for our host and find out if he did indeed tell them the name and then what he knows about them or what he might know as far as what their intentions are.
Okay.
So like I said, if no one else says no, I think that's what we're going to do.
Sounds good.
Okay. So I guess so you use that card to call up like room service and sort of have them go there, or are you just going to go down to the lobby and see if you can spot them?
No, we want what's his name.
We're not talking to the drow yet. We're talking to the innkeeper.
Talking to the innkeeper, yeah. The Ifrit.
Right. But you don't know where. I mean, it's a big hotel. You don't know where he is. I mean, he's got an office. So you guys just go to his his
room
office.
Service. I can call room service and say, hey, go get what's his face and have him
arrange for us to meet him. Not necessarily have him come to us, but arrange for us to meet him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Or Yeah, didn't he give me a card that did the same thing?
I don't know if Belisarius gave you a card. I think, yeah, maybe he did. You could probably use that then. If you've got we've got to figure out whose cards you have. You've got the cabbie.
Got the cabbie. I've got the gnome guy that's only kind of gnomish.
Felipe.
And the wingy guy.
He did not have a card.
He didn't have a card. Which
He didn't even have clothes.
Yeah. For the record, Mike, you're the one wearing the ring, right?
I'm sorry?
What's that?
For the record, you're the one wearing a ring, right? The signet ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what signet ring?
The signet ring that provides free safe passage in Alushinyrra. Alushinyrra.
Right. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we know that.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm wearing it just because I'm supposed to be the
You're the one in charge.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so you do read magic on Belisarius's card, and you get a message that comes back. The actual card, sort of the material, the QR code sort of reforms and says, I will come by your lodgings in approximately 40 minutes or so. I have a few things I need to take care of. And you're like, he's on the way. So about 40, you guys, that gives you time to finish breakfast. They come up and take away the trays, and they ask if there would be any specific needs for lunch. Will you be dining in the restaurant? Will you be dining in room? That kind of thing. Is there anything you guys want? They leave several menus. A lot of it is outlandish stuff, things you've never seen before.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to eat my way through everything that looks edible.
That looks like anything back home.
What did I say? Is it kobold pie, lamprey? All right, let's.
As you run your finger down the menu, your alignment talisman goes off. Oh, can't have that.
I can't eat Kender or halflings apparently.
Check the book. Yes, no cannibalism. All right, so about 40 minutes later, you hear a knock on the door, and you open it up, and there's Belisarius, kind of like, and he actually has one of the hotel servants, another one of those gnome-looking guys, with him. Mm-hmm. That's basically like following him around.
Okay,
that kind of stuff.
I'll open the door. Actually, one of you guys probably should open the door.
It's going to be these gnome-looking guys. These are secretly they're going to come out and sing us a little song at the end of every chapter to tell us what we did wrong. You should have looked at the demons behind you.
All right, there's Belisarius. He comes in. He's like, my newest guests. I'm glad to see you pass the night safely. What is it that I can do for you?
I'll thank him for coming, and then.
No, but of course, if there's anything my guests need, I am at their disposal.
Pass over a note, the note that I got from the drow.
They reached out to you. Excellent. They saw you when you and your friends came into the hotel, and seeing a fellow drow, they asked me about you, and I mentioned your name. They seemed quite anxious to make your acquaintance, so I'm glad that they reached out.
Have you seen these guys before? Do you know of them or know of their house or?
House Druger, the representatives of House Druger? Yes, they've been guests of mine on, and he looks over at the other, he's like, Johan, how many times have the representatives, those two representatives from House Druger here? And the guy kind of pulls up like what it looks like a book, and he flips some pages through, and he's like, it looks like they've been here about 7 times so far in the last 2 standard years. He slams the book shut. Yes. So they've guested with us. I know I've seen their faces before. They've guested us. They guest with us periodically. Apparently, seven individual instances in the last couple of standard years. We, as you know, we cater to primes and those who don't necessarily wish to sleep leg by jowl with our more traditional city inhabitants. So. Yes, they stay here. They typically, if my memory serves, they typically stay for about 2 to 4 weeks in each event, either buying or typically buying, but occasionally selling slaves down at the Fleshmarkets.
Gotcha.
They work with several brokers down there.
Gotcha. Okay. Any idea of what they wanted? Did they, when you were talking with them and gave them a name, did they?
Well, they seem to recognize the name, or at least they seem to recognize it. Typically, what I, as a good host, I try and I see, and if I see countrymen who are staying, even if separately, I will oftentimes try to make introductions. It makes people's stays more pleasant if they can enjoy a drink or a meal with one of their countrymen. In this case, they approached me and asked if I knew you and whether. That I felt that you would be approachable from the point of view of if they offered. It looks like they offered to join you for dinner. So I gave you their name.
Okay.
I gave them your name. You know what I mean.
You know what I mean. Listen to what I mean, not what I say.
But they approached me. And I believe they saw you check in, or perhaps in the bar.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
Indeed. Is there anything else I can do for you? This is your first time to Alushinyrra, unless I miss my guess.
Yes, it is.
Well, Alushinyrra is one of the greatest cities on the Abyss. The commercial activity here is fantastic. I assume you're here for a business purpose, or are there other purposes as well?
There's several, yeah.
Several purposes. It does seem that the distance from here to the prime material plane is lengthy. I can understand why you would want to commingle business, perhaps pleasure, while you're here. If there's anything that I can do to help arrange, perhaps you want to see a show or go down to enjoy some of our local nightlife, I can have my concierge make recommendations for you.
Okay.
He's very skilled, and they're very skilled and knowledgeable.
Yeah,
I ask if they have like a little like hotel gym, sparring area, stuff like that.
Of course. So many of our guests are of a martial persuasion. We have a fully stocked gymnasium in the basement, as well as a small arena where with an array of pugilistic practice dummies. I can also arrange for a live sparring partner if you so wish.
Thank you. I'm gonna make eye contact with Fletcher here. Like, yeah, let's get it on. We gotta go get our arena practice, going.
Yeah, okay. I thank him for that and say, yeah, I think we will probably take advantage of that facility. So
excellent. It is obviously open to all of my guests. So if you have any additional needs or anything like that, please don't hesitate to use my card there.
Okay. All right. At that, I don't have anything else, so I'm going to go ahead and thank him and let him get back to taking care of everyone else.
Does anybody have any other questions before I depart? All right then, Johan, to business. I will enjoy your day, and if you get an opportunity and you are in the restaurant this evening, we have a very special. We will be serving Stegosaurus this evening. So if you want to do that, it's going to run out quite quickly, I imagine. So get down there early if you're interested in trying out some dinosaur today. Good day.
Jump right on that.
And he departs. So yeah, Stegosaurus on special in the restaurant tonight.
At least it wasn't like baby halfling or something like that.
that's really, baby halfling is really more of a side. Like it's tapas place, you probably get that.
All right.
All right. So he did. So basically, he says, they approached me, having spotted you probably in the bar. You saw. I mean, that's when you guys first saw them, was in the bar when you were waiting for your room to be prepared. And then they approached Belisarius saying, we would love to make the acquaintance of our countrymen. Could you arrange it? He's like, oh yes. They probably asked after your name, and he gave it to them. He mentioned that, he likes to ensure that his guests enjoy themselves.
Right.
So, seeing two fellow drow, it's probably pretty rare. So.
Right. Okay. So after he leaves, then all of a sudden, open the conversation back up. So everything being said, these aren't the cutthroat drow, these are the money makers. It wouldn't be bad to at least leave something open Because like I said, after this, Ilnar hasn't forgot. We need to go there to get something so he doesn't permadie here in several months.
Right.
So reply to their invitation to find out what they want. Try to ask more questions than you answer, and
right.
Be non-committal.
So
can you out snooty them, like demand gifts for your presence or stuff like that?
Well, see, it's something I was going to ask Les, just because I am not a drow. What?
Okay.
What is?
Les is.
He's a DM. He's everything right now. He makes the rules to how people act.
I am a drow.
I thought it meant Illendar wasn't a drow. And like, wait.
No. Yeah.
The whole thing's been a lie. You got a rubber mask on.
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson.
He's been faking this whole time.
Les is the pastiest drow I've ever seen in my life.
I'm
a drowbino.
So you know this because, for the first 50, 75, 100 years of his life, he was part of this society.
Mm-hmm.
How do houses typically approach houses that are above them? Is this
cautiously?
Is this as cutthroat as you read in the Tris Duerden books?
Well, in general, no, I would think no. I mean, there are obviously internecine house battles, but in the Salvatore books, I mean, it's like open warfare in the streets practically all the time.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I think it's probably not as bloody as all that. I mean, Mike, in my mind, in Menzoberranzan, when you have a significant amount of these family groups, and they're all in various kinds of alliance, there's like this sort of surface tension that exists, where it's like sort of a simmering kind of animosity that only occasionally breaks out into bloodshed. With these guys, this Duergar house, they have, because of their financial acumen and the fact that they serve as bankers to many of the larger houses and probably their allies as well, they almost certainly have to maintain. So I'm envisioning these guys as they have to maintain cordial relationships despite animosity. So if the Bane Rays hate the number 2 house, which they probably do because they're worried the number 2 house is going to kill them in their sleep, House Drugar, as the mercantile house, would probably have dealings with both of them as important, as they need to have important financial needs. So they would probably have more cordial relations. It wouldn't be like you would be approaching an enemy. You would probably be there from their point of view. It would be less about approaching an enemy and more about approaching a potentially lucrative customer, or the relative of an already lucrative customer who you don't want to piss off, which is more likely the case here.
Well, the other thing is the Drow society is lawful evil. So even in the Salvatore books, where it seems like they're at each other's throats all the time, they may not like each other, but the houses don't resort to open warfare against each other, because if they don't destroy the house entirely, every living member of it, in a single nightly raid, they are subject to laws when they get accused the next day.
That's right. I forgot about that.
If there is a survivor. So while they may not, even House Bane Ray and the subservient or the lesser houses, even if they decide, we hate them, we want to destroy them, if they don't think they're in a position to negotiate doing that over the course of a single night, they're not going to risk it, because they're lawful. And
right. The penalties for failure are worse.
The penalty for failure is all of the other houses destroy the failing house. So it's not Wild Wild West with them. It's more mafia.
No, they're mafia.
They're polite. They're polite on the surface, and they do business together, and they do all of that. And there may be this underpinning of, we'd really like to destroy you, but if they don't think they can do it all in less than 24 hours, they're not even going to try.
Right. So,
and also a mercantile house is not going to be.
They're less likely to
in those political games. Yeah, they're far less likely to be. I mean, they probably have enemies, other mercantile houses probably, but they're going to be far less likely to take sides in those inter-house.
Right.
Politically motivated.
They're just going to set themselves up to benefit no matter who wins.
Right. Exactly.
Mike, just so I was clear, like Elendar, there's not a wanted poster with the drow on him, right?
Oh,
like, not like a outlaw renegade.
No,
he just went a different way.
He was one of the youngest and in their eyes, most disappointing sons of a noble house.
Got it. Okay.
You're
Mainly
not supposed to.
because-
Hey, Mike, I just want to point
because
out when
he
you
did
do your
not
character.
have the killer instinct that everyone else did.
So, Mike, when you do your character backstory, you should not use autobiographical elements about the disappointment.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying I'm sure traveled with these guys for long periods of time. I'm sure lots of curiosity with people who have known nothing but you attack a drow on sight would probably set him down and, prize. So what's it like being a drow, or what's it like down there? That kind of stuff. So I'm sure there's been lots of conversations between party members that have floated back and forth.
Gatto has definitely asked him.
And so
Sure, I'm sure by now for Flash to be in a party with you, we've had some heart-to-hearts on, your good demeanor versus, our worldview is the same, I guess.
Right. And so and Illindar, it isn't very, to the party, he's not very secretive. Literally, he'll tell you how nasty something was or how horrible something was, or if you pin him on, hey, when's the first time you did this? Yeah, he'll tell you first time he killed someone in cold blood. He's not proud of it. But yeah, he doesn't really hide much from you guys.
I'd probably pull you aside at one point, Flash, and be like, all right, tell me about Driders. Are they as hot as they look in the illustrations?
Yeah. So,
Yes,
but yeah, so I mean,
I don't know. How hot do you think they look?
How do you think it look?
Well, it's a centaur spider, right? The bottom half.
So, the important thing is
it's not ideal.
The important thing is get them behind a half wall, and then they're hot. Whenever they come around with all 8 legs and the rest of it, it's kind of.
It's better to cuddle you with, my dear.
So yeah, you guys would know all this stuff. He's not going to be wanted. I mean, if nothing else, any other family wouldn't care one way or another who he was, because he wasn't a powerful member of his family. Now his own family, because he's not sure if they know he just ran away or if they think he just died. But if some of them know he ran away, if he meets his family, they will come after him with a vengeance.
Got it. Okay.
He was on a raid and just sort of like walked away from a raid.
Yeah, it was on a raid, and that was his thing where he's like, okay, that's too much. This is not me.
That's where you hooked up with Bardos.
So yeah, he basically grabbed Bardos and said, let's get out of here. And that's kind of how
me to the surface.
Because it was Bardos's caravan that they were raiding and pretty much slaughtering everybody. So yeah, if he meets one of his family members, a whole different story than what there would be no negotiation on what we do with them if it was a family member.
Got it. Okay.
But any other family, I can't imagine they wouldn't know him. He wasn't a popular one. He wasn't a powerful one.
We'll make sure I don't blurt out the wrong things. I'll save my blurting out the wrong things for the arena.
Right. So I think based on what we've learned and heard, I think we just do the pleasantries. I think whoever it was, either Don or whoever else said, I think it was Don that said, be vague, not non-committal. Just, I think that's how we do this.
Right.
And so to answer your question, Matt.
let me squint here. That works. Yeah.
No, just imagine a half wall.
Yeah, the half wall.
We're all sitting there. And then you're like, whoa.
When the young paladins were all in the locker room, this is what they talk about.
This is what they talk about.
Yeah.
This is what you get when you Google hot Drider. Gonna have to clear my cache.
You were on a list. Say that and an FBI search list.
Yeah, you are on a list right now, sir.
Somebody will show up at the house tomorrow and say, excuse me, sir, we're gonna have to have a talk with you. We're from the Google Police. Did you Google? Can you confirm a couple of Google searches for me? Did you Google hot Drider at 9:06 p.m.? Unbelievable. Okay, then.
I see Marla sitting next to you in the cardigan and the pearls, like all the wives that have to sit next to their husbands through mortifying things.
What's that old picture that's the wife finds the search history? Wasn't there a meme that went around that says it was like an old picture? Hold on, I'll find it.
Okay. Anyway, while we're waiting for you to find that, we'll need a story as far as something believable that I can base a bunch of non-committal answers off of. I want to be someone who's not in the family a lot, so when they ask about recent happenings and stuff like that, Illindar's not going to know any of that. And so I need a way or a plausible story on why I'm with this family, but I haven't been there in a while. So
Well, if they do ask about anyone, just say, I prefer not to talk about that matter.
right. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I take care of special.
You give them the need to know information stuff.
And you
That's
know,
awesome.
you spent 100 years in Menzoberranzan.
Mhm.
So what reasons were there then that a minor family member, a cousin, or some low level, and males are mostly all considered low level anyway.
Yeah, males.
Since it's a matriarchal society. So
they're second-rate citizens.
yeah, some male cousin or something was sent on sort of long missions to here and there and whatever, and hadn't been seen in 25 years. Whatever reasons you would have known of back then, you can just use that.
Yeah. So Les, whenever they do ask, and I can't come up with something, that's what Illindar would come up with.
Okay. So you're going to attend. So is everybody going, or are you just you going, or are you going to take Gatto with you in Drow disguise?
Well,
it's not until later this evening, so you've got some time.
What would be protocol for a Drow in the Abyss?
Well, certainly.
Would it be a show of power to bring everybody? Would it be weird to bring anyone that's not Drow?
It would probably be weird.
And
I don't know that they would consider it a power move for you to bring all your servants.
Right.
Brenda doesn't want to go. Brenda wants to stay.
And at this point, the question is, do they know about Gatto, quote unquote, the other Drow? Because
they would have seen him as well.
Really, taking him along, I mean, I don't know what the skill level is on his disguise stuff, but taking him along is just a risk. Because if they're sitting there while you're having dinner, scrutinizing him,
and his mustache falls off,
they'll get routine checks to see through the disguise.
If I did attend, I would sit at a different table where I could watch things, because I'm acting as a guard.
And that actually might not be a bad, because yeah, Drow used to have people not trust them, and they're pretty much always on the ready. So you having him come down and act like he's not being seen, but be on the other side of the restaurant, just sitting there paying attention to us, might actually.
I mean, they probably will spot him, when you come in. But if Gatto's splits off and goes to a different place, that's easily explained away. It's like, oh, it's one of my bodyguards. He won't be joining us.
Right. But I think having him there, or actually just have him show up a minute or two early, going off by himself, because they're going to realize there's not many Drow there. Oh, that's the other Drow. And then when I come later, and then if they look over and see him just keeping an eye on us, I think that will.
Yeah, I'll go in and you come in 5 minutes later, because I'll have had time.
You'll be in a corner somewhere just watching when I walk in and just paying attention, and I think that.
Right.
Okay.
Bartos is going to cast a message on Gatto, just so he can communicate with what's going on.
And me too.
The Pathfinder text, Pathfinder pager. Beep, 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 beep. Let me check my.
Well, see,
Pathfinder pager.
Bartos can.
Actually, I got 9 creatures, so I can do everybody.
Yeah, I can do everyone. That way, everyone can hear my conversation. And if someone wants to say, because they've got a better idea than Illindar, hey, don't tell them this, tell them this, then they or Bartos can basically tell Illindar.
I don't think they can hear through your ears. I don't think everybody can hear what's going on. They can hear your side of the conversation.
Gordon can relay everything is what happens.
Yeah.
We could be like Cyrano de Bergerac. We just
Gordon, do you speak
the words in
undercommon?
your ears.
Do I smell Pantene? Do I smell Pantene?
Yes.
All right, cool. So, so you guys are just basically, are you going to go out in the city, or are you going to just basically hang around for the afternoon until this meeting?
I said we go pick our first fight or go do our first, whatever we're going to do to get noticed. We haven't got any, no one's come back to tell us about the soul that's lost or the demon chick we're wanting to find. So the only one thing we've got is just kind of walk around town and see if we can
Well, it hasn't been very long.
Here
And
to
I'd-
chew
I'd-
corn nuts and kick ass, and I'm all out of corn nuts.
I'd like to go to the slave area.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Yeah, we can go through that.
What's that, Matt? All right, so you guys are saddling up, getting ready to go out. It's probably you guys probably wait until after they bring lunch. They bring the lunch. It's as fabulous as breakfast was. A different array of wines, various cold and hot soups, small sandwiches made out of indecipherable sorts of vegetables and meats, but fantastic and delicious and multicolored. After lunch, there's a knock on the door. Is that even knock? I don't know. And it's a package for you, sir.
Candygram from Mongo.
And you recognize the voice. It sounds like one of those gnome guys.
Okay.
I'll go get it.
Okay.
I go to the door.
Door opens up. There is a small, it's kind of like a thick envelope, more than anything. And
I pick it up, bring it inside, set it at a table, check it for traps.
I was gonna say it's ticking right now. So
no,
they give us a clock.
They would. They can't. No, they wouldn't bring us. So you tipped the guy, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, good. Just make sure to mark that off. All right. So yeah, you put it out to check for traps. Give me a roll.
Talking to me, Les?
This here.
No, Don's
Okay,
checking for traps on the package. It's essentially a thick envelope, about probably 8 inches wide, maybe half that as much long. It's thick in the middle. It doesn't feel like. What'd you roll?
Oh damn, 17.
17. Okay, so so it's high quality. It doesn't feel it. So the thickness doesn't feel like it's because there's a lot of paper in there. It feels like there's some object in there, like about this big. And as you're sort of like squeezing it, you don't think that there doesn't seem to be any traps on it. You don't detect any traps. It is addressed to Bardos specifically, and as you sort of like are trying to figure out what this thing is inside, you feel it move a little.
Bardos, this appears to be something alive.
Your Drider action figure has arrived.
Would you care to open it, or do you want me to?
Your blow-up Drider arrived.
Something moved.
Xanther Vang.
It's got to be Xanther.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'll open it up and look at it.
Don't you?
Okay. Message for Bardos. Can you guys see that?
Hard to read.
And he sent you a grub.
Zoom that in.
So
Make that bigger. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Oh,
Okay.
That is a terrible background. He's so evil. He put this background on his letter.
so it's I was trying to for some sort of the letter is written on some sort of, it's not papyrus, it's like skin.
It's like a skin. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Only
a skin.
somebody evil would use this sort of font.
The round thing, the thing that moved, is a large, ugly worm, like a maggot, that's just sitting there. It doesn't look very active, but it is alive still, and it is moving. And the letter reads, "My dear friend Bardos, I've always regretted our too swift parting from the Baphometian fortress. I heard what you and your friends did to the Nyahydrian refinery, and I cannot help but be impressed. And to hear that you are now in Alushinyrra fills my heart with pleasure at the thought of a prospective reunion. I've sent an emissary to demonstrate the depth of my desire that we should meet and talk. Perhaps here in the abyss, the quality of my original offer, that of apprenticeship to learn under my tutelage, will find a greater appeal. We shall discuss this when we meet. Keep my emissary close. By it, I shall know your response."
This little grubby thing is his emissary.
That's just
Pardon
it.
him.
Yeah, Les.
Yeah?
I found 2 worms in a sarcophagus that Xanther Vang had previously occupied.
Correct.
Is this worm similar to those 2?
Very.
So it is part of Xanther Yang.
Yep.
Vang. Xanther
Bang.
Vang.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe.
So
he was comprised at least.
Do with it what you will. I'm okay with stepping on it.
Put it in a bottle of mezcal.
Well, that'd be an answer.
He still has those two other worms.
Well, could we track Xanther Vang through his emissary? It might work for us.
Well,
I can, but I don't have any of the spells required to do it. I don't have scribe, or I don't have, any kind of way.
Fair point, but we are in the capital of demons world, right? There's got to be somebody who can sell us something if we got the coin. We might have to scratch up some coin through fighting and whatnot before we get that kind of coin. But I'm thinking that I'm just going to guess, Les, that anything we want is somewhere in this town if we have the power and access to get it.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. This is an immense commercial city.
You can be like a guy with his overcoat on. Psst, you need a finding spell? Come over here.
The scrying's a 4th level spell, so if I can get a scroll, I can put it in my spell book and use it. I just have not had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be a good one for us to have.
We're
trying to find 5 targets here.
Well, Les has already said that I can use this worm to scry back, and he's also said that these worms can be used by Vang to scry for himself, which he doesn't even really need that. I mean, he can scry me just because he knows me, and he's probably been doing that at some point here and there.
Well, you've only been in Alushinyrra a day, and you've already gotten a note.
Yeah, right.
And he knows you're staying at the Worm Empire.
Yeah.
He probably, Xanther probably has been to Alushinyrra before, potentially many times.
No, we knew he had a way to keep track of Bardos, whether he took something from him or implanted something in him or whatever. He's got some way of scrying on him. So I'm sure that's how he did it.
Yeah, he's got Facebook alerts set up on Bardos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm very familiar to him. He doesn't need anything to scry on me. He just needs to do it.
Right.
And he has deeper spell abilities than just the scrying too. He's very practiced at doing what he does. So even the normal scrying, I suspect he's got deeper levels of spells than that.
So does this emissary act, or is it a threat to you?
It's a worm.
Well, I get that it's a worm, but can he cast spells through it?
Well, that's a good question.
It would not surprise me if he couldn't do that. But I mean, Bardos has been carrying 3 of these in his portable hole already, the ones that Gatto gave him.
Yeah, but technically, a portable hole is another plane of existence.
Right, and that's why he.
That's why I kept him there, if I recall.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. But as far as scrying, Xanther Vang does not need the worms to scry on me. He's got my number. Why he's interested in me, I really don't know.
Yeah.
He wants you to be his apprentice, apparently.
You were weird. You were something he hadn't ran into before.
Something different, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you remember when he was essentially torturing you, but I mean, doing experiments, he was very specifically interested in the fact that you were an android, and this was alien to him. And so a lot of his experimentation was designed to sort of suss out some of the qualities of your nature. That being said, I mean, Xanther doesn't approach reality in the same way that a normal creature would. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, he tortured you and did a lot of weird experiments on you and then allowed you to escape, or maybe you escaped, maybe he allowed you to escape just to see what you would do and that kind of stuff. But to your mind, you're not sure that would necessarily mean that Xanther doesn't have a fondness for you. In fact, maybe the opposite. I mean, when you spent the last
You're
week
one of
or
his
so
favorite pets.
Yeah, I mean, he would speak, he would talk with you and that kind of stuff. And now he did most of the talking, but I mean, he doesn't think that this would necessarily be appropriate. And he's probably a little confused as to why you wouldn't jump at the opportunity. Him being such a kick-ass, wizard.
Yeah. And again, I just see the guy singing, "You're joking, you're joking."
I said that I'll draw over tools.
Who else knows we're here? I've got a note. Bardos has a note. Who's going to get the next note?
I have not gotten a note yet, but the time is.
This is interesting because it tells us that Xanther is here, which we suspect for sure about. So that confirms that anyway.
My guess is the Paladin's the next one to get a note.
Most likely.
No, it's going to be from.
No, it's going to be from that demon.
It's going to be from the Hot Drider.
It's going to be from the demon who was impersonating the Iomedean Paladin.
That could very well be.
Pretty sure Fletcher's not getting a note from anybody.
You could get a note.
You get a note.
I'm sure there's demon barbarians out here somewhere.
I'm sure he sent several demons back to this plane. So one of them
Oh, so this is where they go. Okay, well then, yes.
So one of them probably, hey.
Well, I mean,
if you kill them here, they stay dead.
Yes.
if you kill them here, they stay dead. That's absolutely right. So, in a city of 7 million, running into a demon, hey, it's like, I remember you from, that kind of thing. He's like, aren't you the barbarian from that place in the World Wound? Man, you killed me. What was that about? That kind of thing.
No, Les?
It's rare, I would think.
Les, speaking as someone who's been to New York several times, it's more likely than you would think.
Oh, really?
Well, you run into people that you don't think you're going to see.
All right. To your question, if you wanted to get a scry spell, you could absolutely find one.
Okay, that Bartles would be very interested in that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's crazy magic shops in this place.
So let's go pick a fight with someone so we can beat them up, take their stuff, sell it.
Did you say
Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
That's the cornerstone of D&D.
Am I allowed to sell things
Killing
that
things,
I
taking your
take
stuff.
off the person I killed?
Yes.
Well, who are you asking?
But we need to know about it.
I'm asking.
But
Be
we
very
need to know
specific in
about
your
it.
answer.
I'm asking Flashheart.
Well, I know
question?
why you're avoiding asking Chuck, because you know what Chuck's going to say.
Anything you find on someone, you show us. We'll collectively make a decision and go from there.
Yeah. You get one share of whatever we find.
Les Bartles is going to say, we'll talk later, and then put that worm with the other ones that are in the portable hole.
Okay.
Gross.
We'll talk later. I'm very interested.
We're taking it down one worm at a time.
Okay. All right, cool. So hold on, I got to do a couple of things. So you guys are going to go out and pick a fight, huh?
Or just wander around until one finds us.
All right. So you go out.
Unless you guys want to start with the going to fight the gladiator dude.
No,
I probably wouldn't start there.
like I said, I wanted to start going to the slave markets to see.
Let's do that because
if I catch a glimpse.
We might kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, to see if I catch a glimpse of the people that I'm looking for. Now, I don't know necessarily that the Esker skeleton guy, I don't know that he's going to be in the slave markets. He's a spirit. He didn't come down. He wasn't brought down here as a live creature. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they can't make slaves of spirits, but he, as far as we know, is tied to that, whatever that type of demon was that we fought in his cave.
But you would have sold the spirit.
Well, maybe, but they were connected. The spirit served him, or served that demon, as far as I understand.
Correct.
So it may be a matter of trying to find that demon. Now, we don't know that one's name. At least not
You
that I
do
recall.
actually. No, you don't. I know his name.
Okay, I was to say, I don't recall ever finding out the demon's name.
I know his name.
Well, it could be if he escaped to here. I mean, you know what kind of demon he is, right?
And he would be something of a slaver, I think. So
could be. So just from illustrative, there's a couple of different ways that a spirit can be enslaved on the abyss. First is an actual spirit here. After so Jesker's in sort of a weird position because he basically, if you know the lore of how things work, essentially when you die in the prime material plane, you are judged by Pharasma and sent to the plane, your soul or spirit is sent to the plane where you belong, right? So if you are an Asmodeus worshiper, you are sent to the hells. If you are, I don't know, if you are an elf and you worship the elven pantheon, you are sent somewhere else, somewhere pleasanter, one assumes. But in this case, Jesker bypassed all of that. He never was judged by Pharasma because his spirit was sort of enslaved or owned by that demon.
Right.
And I'll get you more information on the demon.
Yeah. So he's tethered to that demon unless we kill the demon on its plane, this one, then we can hopefully get, well, I guess at that point, the spirit would go on to do the judgment thing, but we could resurrect the body that's being held in stasis.
Sure. Theoretically,
and bring the spirit back. That's kind of the point.
Yep.
That's where we are.
Right. So there's a couple of different ways that an enslaved spirit could be used on this plane. One is just as a spirit. It does have, it's like a incorporeal creature, like an undead. So those can be commanded. Those can be tasked to do things. If the demon wanted to keep him as a servant, he now has sort of what we would, what to us would be like an undead, ghostly servant. Right? Now, there's a limit to what a ghost can do. It's not like he can bring you a glass of wine. The glass just falls right through. But there are other things that can be done. So you can have an enslaved spirit, especially one that hasn't been judged by Pharasma. Two, what they do in the hells, for example, is when the spirits of evil prime material men and creatures show up in the hells, they get ported into essentially dummy bodies, and that's what lemurs are, right? So these are these sort of like misshapen, cloned bodies, unspirited flesh that these newly dead souls are sort of thrust into, and so they have a physical capability on that plane. They get pushed into these unused sort of bodies, essentially,
right?
Or they can also, I mean, that works in the hells. It could be put into a lemur. It could also be done like what happened with Bardos at one point is a person can take a body and displace and magic jar the existing spirit and put another spirit into that existing body, essentially a sort of reworking of what happened to Bardos from the Shadow Demon. So you can magic jar an existing spirit into somebody else's body, and their spirit gets stuck. In this case, for magic jar, it's like stuck in a gem or something like that. Make sense? So there are ways to use a spirit like that. It's not just baggage.
Right, and I'm waiting for Mike to come back because I know that there are cleric spells that allow you to find people, objects, what have you, or divination type spells. I'm just not having good luck finding them at this point because we just rested. So if I was going to change out a spell, now would be the time.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Something that would allow me to divine the location of the spirit of Jesker Helton. Would that be divination?
It definitely would be a divination type spell.
Or are there other spells?
Locate creature, locate object. It's a person you're looking for?
Yeah.
It's the spirit of a person.
Locate creature is a 4th level sorcerer, wizard, or bard spell.
No, well, so divination is a 4th level priest spell. Provides useful.
Locate object is a 3rd level priest spell.
I don't know that the soul of a formerly living creature would be classified as an object.
No, if you know what it was kept in, what the container was, you might be able to do it that way. But
right, and see, I don't know that. So
spitballing here, but again, there's got to be a necromancer on this plane that can find exactly what you're looking for.
If only Xanatopsis were here.
Yeah, like, guys, I'd do this just for the thrill.
So I'm looking at divination, and it can provide you with a useful piece of advice in reply to a question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity that is to occur within 1 week. Party doesn't act on the information. The conditions may change. Base chance for correct is 70 plus 1 per caster level to a maximum of 90 if the die roll fails. You know the spell failed unless specific magic yielding false information is at work. Okay. So yeah, I mean, theoretically, you could twist divination that way. Well, it's not a what you would be saying, look, I'm trying to find this guy. How do I do that? What do I, where do I find him? It's a specific goal or event, and if it succeeds, you get a piece of useful advice.
Yeah, or I guess I could try to be stingy and narrow it down to something along the lines of, would I find him in the slave quarters or in the slaver area of this city?
And fourth level is the highest spell you cast, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. So augury is pretty, it's a first level spell, which is great, but it doesn't really provide a great deal. It just tells you if what you ask is sort of a good idea or a bad idea. It's kind of like Magic 8 Ball, really.
Yep. Augury is a cantrip?
It's a second level cleric spell.
Augury's
second level. Okay. I'm looking at the cantrips. I'm like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? Here we go. Augury. Okay. So yeah, it's like Wheeler Woe. So I think from the point of view of Lothar, you already know that Erastil expects you to find this guy.
Right.
So whether or not, I mean, I don't know that I would ask asking the question of, should I find this guy? Is this a good idea? Is almost certainly going to get a yes.
That's useless.
Yeah, that wouldn't be. It would be a different kind of question. Hold that thought, or talk amongst yourselves. I gotta pee.
You'd have to ask things like, am I going to find him in the slaver market? Am I going to find him on this plane?
Mike.
Yes.
Get back here.
Sorry, I was hungry. I didn't get dinner, so.
Jesus. So look, I'm trying to figure out a pre-spell, fourth level or lower, that will allow me to hone in on where the spirit of Jesker Helton is. Now I can use divination, but I know I've seen before, they're like commune with your ancestors that can help you get information. I don't know how fully sort of knowledgeable you are about pre-spells, but what's the best thing to use to try to find out?
At fourth level, the lower level ones, the best you can do is if you get the one that I thought I heard you guys talking about when I walked up.
Augury?
Where you get like 10 questions and you just have to use each one of those in a series to narrow it down.
Oh, was that divination?
Just yes, no questions is what it is.
No, divination doesn't work with yes, no. Divination is the one where it can get back a form of a cryptic rhyme
so
or
the
omen.
augury is yes, no, and then you just do 20 questions. Yeah.
Right. Augury is yes, no, but you can do the 20 questions thing and try to narrow it down, but
yeah. The thing is, none of us in this group, most of us in this group, or half of us, are from the local group, and we're used to a DM that doesn't really allow any divination to ever work ever, so we never put a lot of stock in learning.
Never bother with it?
Because it never worked for us. But yeah, we have.
I was strict about divination.
What's that? We have gotten lots of places with the 20 questions of literally just figuring out a kind of cheesy way to hone in on it based on the answer of the last yes/no question. You ask the next one, and by that you can get the answer or find the item that you want.
I know I've seen spells that are basically sort of have a conversation with your dead ancestors, and they're a little more
forthcoming.
They're a little more inspired to help you,
right?
Because they're your people. But I can't find the damn spell.
I'll tell you what. So the 20 questions. We've done this a couple of times in the past, where anybody can ask anything. What was it? We did it with like a 10-minute one. Like I'll answer any question for 10 minutes.
If you wait until after Les has like several drinks, then he'll let us just go the rest of the night. He'll get tired of it. He'll like, you know what? Here, you got like 20 minutes left. Just ask me whatever you want.
Drink up, Les.
I'll tell you what. So
I found it. Hang on.
What's it called?
It's called. What's the damn name of it? Ancestral Communion. You contact the spirits of your ancestors and use their great wisdom to bolster your own knowledge.
What level is that?
It's Cleric Oracle 2.
Okay.
But I don't know that it works.
Contact the spirits of your ancestors. Use their great wisdom. Consulting with
it seems to only work for knowledge checks. It doesn't actually look like it gives you.
Oh yeah.
Sort of supernatural understanding of stuff you wouldn't understand anyway.
Right.
It's more like it reminds you of what you should already know. Okay, so that's not it.
Yeah, lower levels, you're kind of stuck with those few. Some of the higher level ones, you can even look on other planes, and some of them you just have to be on the same plane, and it'll tell you exactly where whatever you're looking for is.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't want to waste a 4th level spell, especially if we're potentially going out to pick a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I think I'll just stick with what I've got, and I want to go to the slave trading area to see if I can sort of recon any information.
Okay.
Or find Syvar or whatever.
Okay.
And
cool.
then I'll worry about divination later. Sorry.
No. It's all a journey. Okay, so you guys are going to head out into the city. You're going to take a cab or down to the slave markets? Hold on, let me check the map.
How far is it from where we're at?
So you guys are here. Wait. Here. This is where Worm Empire is. The Fleshmarkets are here, sort of in Ostrakantar. So Ostrakantar is where like ships dock, like seagoing vessels. The Fleshmarkets are like right about here. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw it here. So Fleshmarkets, essentially it is the largest slave marketplace in existence, as far as you know, and it basically takes up this area right here. You see that circle?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's about a half mile wide, about a quarter mile deep, right on the edge of this triangular thing. In fact, it takes up a lot of this. There's many people who buy slaves, especially in quantity, will have boats that they will bring up to the canal and bring, that's how they'll transport their newly acquired slaves or their stock that they're selling. Oftentimes comes in here. It wraps around a little bit, but that's the area. So kind of far, I guess. I mean, not super far, but 3 miles, 2.8 miles, as the crow flies, which you would not be able to fly like a crow.
So
might be worth a cab drive.
So it'd be an hour walk if we chose to hoof it.
I was going to say, do you want to walk in an attempt to allow credit-raising combat to come to us, or do we just want to go where we're going?
How about take a cab there, look for what you need, and that way we're full and healthy to do whatever you need us to do, and then we'll walk back.
That works.
And see if the opportunity presents itself.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Do you call Cabby?
Yep. We use the same guy.
Hello. I'm back. So you use his card. You basically do read magic on it, and you get a quick message back, like on an Uber. He's like 10 minutes. Be there in 10 minutes. So not too long. You guys get packed up and head out onto the street, and you're just you go outside of the Worm Empire, and you're still incredibly amazed at how busy this city is. I mean, even just outside the door of the Worm Empire, there's traffic. There's people walking around. You see Vrox and other demons flying overhead. You see, those big whale ships kind of like cranking along very slowly. It's just an immense amount of activity. Even more surprising is that nobody's really paying a ton of attention to you guys. Everybody sort of is kind of going around. I mean,
it is like New York.
It is like New York. You guys, I mean, it's not like you guys have a big sign that says, "Hi, we're from Iomade and we're here to help." But I mean, you guys are primes. You guys are human. The vast majority of the individuals in this city are demons, half fiends, and tieflings. So they're all, the majority of them are demonic in some way. But there is still a fair amount of. Remember, we talked about the Kepri, we talked about the Cacticay, and you can see those guys. In other cases, various kinds of creatures that make Alushinyrra their home that aren't necessarily demons. So I mean, whereas you might get a second glance sometimes, nobody's accosting you and saying, "Hey, are you guys good?" That's not what's going on. So Cabby shows up and he's like, "Hello. Where to, boys?"
To the Fleshmarkets.
Ah, all right. Whoosh, and he, sets it up.
Are we all on this cab?
Well, yeah, it's a big wagon.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
It's the
I will assure the
Escalade.
cabbie.
It's
I will
the
assure the
Escalade
cabbie.
Uber.
I will assure the cabbie that I'm just there to minister, not to actually ogle the flesh market.
whatever, old boy. I don't judge. As a demon cabbie, judgment is way down on my list of shit to do to my paying customers.
It's the I'm the designated driver when I take the Friends of the Peppermint Rhino backstory. I'm trying to.
Did you say this is a big like covered wagon kind of thing?
Yeah, it's essentially like, think of like a Renaissance era coach. So he sits, I mean, it's almost like a stagecoach where he sits on top and he has those like lizard creatures that are the beasts of burden, which you don't recognize. They're just like giant Gila monster looking lizards. But the coach itself is enclosed. There are windows, but it's roofed. So, I mean, and he like, there's like a little door that he can, imagine you're in a limo and you slide the thing so the guy can talk to you. He'll reach down and he'll slide across. He says, "We're almost there," that kind of thing. But generally, it's private and it's
going through with like Storm just sitting on the back of the thing, sitting up there, just.
Did you summon Storm? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Storm.
Storm.
I don't leave the hotel without Storm.
I always kind of assume that. Well, Storm's not going to. Storm's big, right?
Yes.
About the size of a horse.
I thought he could be sized
that big.
different things. No.
Her body's about the size of a horse. Now she's got wings that go out probably. She's probably got a 20-foot wingspan.
Like a baby dragon.
You caught Les sleeping.
Hold on.
You didn't even have it loaded.
I didn't.
Anticipation that's worse for Gato.
Sorry about that. I was looking the wrong direction on that one.
As soon as I said Don's whole body language, she's like, "Oh."
It's riding under the radar here.
How much? Any idea how much Storm might weigh? How much does a horse weigh?
Couple tons.
Probably 600 pounds, 800 pounds.
All right, hold on. How much does a horse weigh? A horse weighs between 900 and 2,200 pounds.
Of course.
So yeah, so if let's say 2,000 pounds, and then wings and tail, dragons are a little bit more dense than usual, and I don't think I forgot. It's even when I say it.
They're very light because they can fly.
I would say probably 3,000 to 3,500 pounds, probably. For
No
Storm,
way.
I would think so. Yeah,
Just large. She's not huge.
3,000 pounds is not that heavy. I knew a guy who was 3,000 pounds.
She's been on a diet, though.
She watches what she eats.
Well, I'm just thinking whether or not the reason I asked this question is because I'm wondering if she would be able to sit on the back of the coach, or she would need to fly overhead.
She would need to fly overhead.
Either way, it would be fly overhead.
It would look so much cooler if she was just sitting on her hind legs, just setting up like a cat or something like that, just looking as we're riding along.
The whole wagon's tipped up, you're like only on the back wheels.
You can do that for about 5 seconds until the demon driver turns around and looks at her with, raised eyebrows and.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to sit a little lighter back there, would you? Yeah, I think she would probably sort of like slowly fly overhead. But again, like nobody's really making a big.
Yeah, she wouldn't look anything less than anything else around here. So.
Okay. So you get to the Fleshmarkets, and it is exactly the kind of thing that you feared. It's essentially it's a blocked off street essentially, and these huge sort of barn-like buildings sort of extend all the way down the street. There's a ton of people going back and forth. You see groups of individuals with, manacled throats being sort of driven along on big poles and sort of like that kind of stuff. All kinds of different creatures in cages and beings and people, making deals and that kind of stuff. And you can see, I mean, it's noisy, it's loud. There is a lot of slaving going on. You can see in the background, you can see the boats coming in and out. Some are offloading what look to be captives. A lot of these captives, one of the things that strike you is most of the captives, most of the slaves are not human or even recognizable races, not elves, dwarves. There are some, certainly, but most of the time you see it's not necessarily demons who are selling humans and dwarves and elves. It's other humans and dwarves and elves that are selling dwarves and elves. And it sort of starts to make a sense on you. Demons don't necessarily go into the prime material plane and scoop up a bunch of humans to come back here and sell. The logistics are just the demon slavers are mostly selling tieflings, fiends, and you do see like the occasional sort of like Githyanki or other sort of planar creatures being sold. But mostly it's like other demons and that kind of stuff. So the feeling that you get is that, you know, these people are preying on their own kind in many ways to do here. But it is a loud, bustling place filled with people. There's probably easily 5,000 to 10,000 people crammed into this area, all in various stages of buying and selling.
Okay.
But it's like every variation of people being captive. Some are simply have their hands tied behind their back. Some, and there's one, I mean, you've got these Hezru demons who are dragging along like a pole that's probably 100 feet long. And there's maybe as many as 50 or 60 people all manacled to the neck as they push this thing along as in like a big thing. You've got clusters of people, you've got wagons, all kinds of different sales. For those of you of the lawful good persuasion, it's absolutely horrifying what's going on here. So Chuck, what were you thinking about, like, looking into? I mean, what were you planning to look at? Just to get a look
Freeing
at
all the slaves. Chuck?
They got Lothar.
You turn around and Chuck's gone. Lothar's gone. Oh my God! So, is there anything while we wait for that? Is there anything that you guys do as you get down there? You are, I mean, in many ways, horrified.
I say, yeah.
That this is.
Lothar would be anxious to find what's here or find that it's not here and then leave. Just
okay. What are you looking for? I mean, there's tons of people. I mean, if you're looking to see, if you say, hey, is that Jesker Helton? That's unlikely in the extreme.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this.
But you're saying there's a chance we can roll for it.
Well, it's not a.
So you want a perception check?
Yeah, give us a D100 range and we'll roll.
Chuck, you back? He's still tinkling. All right, so in the meantime, the rest of you are kind of like, just looking around, seeing what's in. You're in the market for a slave. You do have some people are coming like up to you a little bit, and they're not necessarily approaching you, but they're sort of like eyeing you up, and they're like, take a look, that kind of thing. I've got some slaves back here you might be interested in. You're kind of far enough away from people from the actual merchants that they're not addressing you directly, but they are motioning towards you.
Right.
Like, hey, come on over here. Check this. I got the best slaves of all of them. Yeah. They're trying to see if you guys are in a buying mood.
Unless Bartos is totally focused on finding a place to buy scrolls now that you've mentioned that as a possibility.
Okay.
I am.
So, you don't see any.
I'm not pulling my sword and killing everybody in sight.
you don't see any scrolls down here. A lot of this place has definitely been sort of sequestered off for slave trade, and it's enormous. But you don't see any other shops around here that cater to anything other than slaves. Even the shops that you sort of passed as you're approaching the flesh markets sort of cater to the slave trade, right? So it's like, Bill's Manacle Shop and Cattle Prods R Us and that kind of thing. So
the magic shops are just magical slaves.
Yeah, you don't see any scriberies or anything like that, or magical shops here anyway.
I'll keep an eye out.
You can find something on the way back. What's this? Or waiting for Chuck to get back. The Mort Fleur.
Mort Fleur. It's a neighborhood. All these are like neighborhoods.
I'm sorry, I'm back. What did I miss?
Okay, we're waiting for you to take point on finding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're at the flesh markets, and you can see you're at sort of like, it's like what's that street in Vegas? Fremont Street, where it's got like it's kind of covered, and it's sort of sectioned off of the way. This is kind of like it's a little bit reminiscent of Fremont Street, and it's a big sort of open wide street with a lot of places on the sides, a lot of people going through here buying and selling slaves. It's very crowded, and it offends every lawful good sensibility that you have.
Well, not to mention I despise cities.
There you go. So yeah, you're already kind of pissed.
Yeah, well, not quite as xenophobic as Jen's character, but yeah, hates cities.
Well, this is easily, by a couple of orders of magnitude, the largest city you've ever been in.
Yeah.
And most crowded city.
So I'm going to move through and look and see. I mean, I realize the chances of it are fairly small, but we can get a feel for this place because, sort of low-key side note, eventually I would like to let all these people go. But for now, we're getting the lay of the land, and I want to see if I can find Cybar.
Okay. All right.
The huge slave revolt will have to wait.
I sent you a note there, Jack.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Yes, to answer your question, yeah, not right now, but eventually, yes, that will be the goal.
Yeah.
What's the note say?
Flashheart can't let that go by.
No.
Because do you like me? I like you.
Yeah.
Box.
Yeah.
Check here.
Check here. So yeah, as you're sort of winding you through it, I mean, you see, as I was telling the guys, you see every base element of human or of creature bondage here. One of the things I mentioned is that when you're surprised at how few, comparatively few, humans, elves, dwarves, prime material creatures are on sale here. It's mostly demons, tieflings, fiends, planar creatures. And the thing that you note, and it's just a horrifying detail, is that when you do see prime material creatures on sale, it's usually prime material creatures doing the selling, whereas the demon slavers are usually selling tieflings or other demons and things like that.
That's pretty standard slavery practice.
Everybody's preying on their own kind. Yeah,
exactly.
So it's horrifying, and
so does Gato have any further questions about why it's evil?
Not at this time.
He's reserving the right to resume this line of questioning at some point.
The advice of counsel.
He's writing down like the actual what the going rate is for him right now is what he's doing.
He's like, I could undercut this. So give me a quick perception check, Lothar. 29? Man, that's pretty solid. All right, well, you don't see Cybar, but
not solid enough apparently.
But you do see a place that, do you read Abyssal?
Yes.
Okay, so you do see a building that, unlike a lot of the other sort of barn-like structures, this one has the look of like an office building to it. And it says Hall of Records on Abyssal on the side.
That's what we need.
Well, I'm going to head towards that direction.
Okay.
And again, while I'm going through this place, I'm going to size up the defenses, the guards, what types of means they're using to control the large number of slaves, what I assume would be the large number of slaves in comparison to the relatively small number of slave controllers, because that tends to be how things work.
Yep.
So I'm going to take in all the logistics of this place to determine as best I can where its weak points are and how many people would need to be taken out before freeing at least the prime members of the slaves would create enough of a problem that they wouldn't be able to correct it quickly enough.
Well, so I can answer a couple of those questions. So the first thing I think that you would probably take in is the sheer size of this place, the sheer scope of it. You're probably not the best estimator of this, but your guess is that there could be easily 5,000 to 8,000 people, individuals, both slaves and masters, kind of jammed in this half mile, region.
Right.
There are a number. It's basically a huge street, and on either side of that street exist like these big barn-like kind of areas. Some are older, some are newer, but essentially it's sort of like an open slave market, in various places, except for the Hall of Records, which is.
But so out of these, let's say 5,000 or 8,000 people, whichever it was, that are here, the percentages are what? 70-30, 80-20, slave to master.
More like
90-10?
90-10, I would say. Most of the slaves are so
That's still 1,000 people.
it's still 1,000 people. So most of the slaves are bound in some way, either big poles with manacles, or just sometimes as simple as having their hands tied behind their backs. Most of them are bound. Some of them, as you sort of look around as you walk through, seem to be. They seem to be. They have vacant stares. Some of them are drooling. It's like almost that they've been lobotomized. Your guess as a magic user is they have been somehow pacified magically. Obviously,
Right.
damaging the stock by lobotomizing it is probably not a great way to.
Yeah, so these people are charmed and controlled. I've seen the magic users in the party do that.
Right.
So, like I said, just sort of taking all that information in for future reference.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm not the military tactician, but I have some in the party that I can talk to later and determine what we can do.
Gotcha. Okay.
For now, I'd like to go to the Hall of Records.
Right. Okay. So you get to the big stair, and it's a big building. As you get to the staircase, which goes up a couple of things, it's like imagine a major city municipal building. That's probably the size of this place. As you're walking up, you see a familiar face. It's Felipe coming out, and he has a bundle of parchments in his hand that are sort of wrapped in string that he's coming out. I'm gonna roll a quick perception to see if they see you. Yeah, he's coming down the steps. He's got this parchment. He's coming out, and he looks over, and he kind of like goes, and he sort of mouths, "Sir, what are you doing here?" And he starts coming over. He's like, he kind of gives you this sort of like hand gesture of like, "Is it okay for me to approach you?" kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'll wave him over.
Okay.
Should I kill him?
Yeah.
Would you? That would erase.
Enlarge sweatshirt. Let's kill everybody.
It would erase several legal pages that I've written of story.
I'm just asking.
Can we set up a new slap reason and give Lothar the keyword for Gatto's out of line? Or should I just keep saying dragon?
There you go. Gatto, stop acting like a dragon. Cautiously you see Felipe sort of like looking around, and then he comes over to you and he says, "I'm sorry, Mr. Lothar. I didn't realize that you were planning to come visit."
Down.
No, I won't get down. This is my real height. So he says, "I was able to locate some information for you. Would you care to go somewhere else and discuss it?"
You found what I was looking for?
I found some things that might be of interest to you. I don't know if it's precisely what you're looking for.
Why don't we arrange to meet later?
Okay.
Back at the Worm Pyre.
Okay. We'll do.
Where it would be easily safer. I came down to take the lay of the land myself. So
understood, sir. I would never question your motives. I'll send word later on this evening to see if you're free, and we can discuss it we'll discuss at the hotel.
Perfect.
All right. Good day.
That way we have safety.
Yep. He skedaddles out of there. So you going into the Hall of Records?
At this point, I don't really need to.
Yeah. I'm sure he's been spending more time and is better at this than we are.
All right. Well, yeah.
And since my actual in the real world job is researching records, I don't want to do it in a role play.
Can you imagine if I was a player in your campaign and they're like, "Well, your next challenge for your player is to do marketing for them."
Photocopier.
Oh no, not again!
Your challenge is to research the ownership records of this particular building back since it was given in the Louisiana Purchase. And then I eat a bullet and you never hear from me again. Been there, done that. So I guess my part in this will just continue to be to sort of mentally take note of the intel of this place.
Okay, so you guys will kind of like go back and forth around the thing and just kind of do it, and it, you see demons lashing other demons and people clouding and holding their chins up and that kind of thing. It's just the most base activity that you've ever seen, and every step brings sort of like these new disgusting things. You guys eventually turn around. Oh, what were you saying, Chuck?
At some point, I'd like to get close enough to have a conversation with Flashheart and Illendar, and as many of the party as I can without seeming obviously calling a huddle.
Oh, I don't think nobody's really paying attention to you guys. You did get some activity from some of the sort of the smaller sellers. I mean, so there's a pretty wide variety. I mean, and some guys in these big barn-like structures are selling literally like dozens, sometimes hundreds of slaves at a time. And these are big deals that are being brokered. And, you've got guys with ships coming in and picking them up. But then you've got like even more of these like little shops that have a half dozen or a dozen individual slaves. They in some cases they're calling to you sort of like in marketplace fashion. They're saying, "Hey, great slaves here, buy your humans," that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're marketers. I get that.
But yeah, I don't know that would, if you guys stopped to talk for a moment, it would create any consternation amongst the people. People are talking with each other all over the place.
Okay, so the question is, I know that one of our goals was to sort of gain a reputation. Is this the type of place that we should have Flashheart bump into somebody, get offended, we kill a couple of people? Is this the place for a fight that gets us attention? Or is this a place that, because of its importance, would be not the kind of attention we were looking for?
So I'm glad you brought that up, because I kind of believe that, yeah, since this is a big part of what makes this city successful, or a lot of wealth comes from in this city, I wouldn't think this would be looked at. This
would be a bad idea.
Yeah, Lothar, if this is your and I's long-term target, I think we start elsewhere so they never see it coming.
Okay. That seems like wise counsel. As much as I want to start throwing flame strikes around, that does seem like wise counsel.
I mean, if this was, just a little, this was the only place that did it and it's like a mom and pop shop and that's it, great. But since one of the main things the city's known for is the slavery and the selling of all that, I don't think we want to screw with their bread and butter.
Because there's a slaver over there that I'd like to shake his hand and cast slay living.
Right.
Well, so you guys bat this around for a little bit, and you decide, well, probably the better part of value at this point is not necessarily try to disrupt the commercial venture, because you ought to remember that Nocticula tolerates a lot of things, but one thing that the only real thing that has any sort of would be considered criminality, I guess, for lack of a better term,
is interfering with the slave market.
Is interfering with trade in general.
Trade, right?
She's very Nocticula is very specifically built up Alushinyrra as being sort of a free commercial city in the abyss, and so she's going to frown upon any sort of like interference with that. Yeah. So you guys begin having seen enough. You guys begin walking back to the southwest, towards the Cacticate region and through southern Mortfleur, sort of just taking in the sights. And as you are sort of walking by, you hear the sounds in like a little alleyway of laughter and what is unmistakably the sound of flesh on flesh. It's a punch. And you hear, from other things. Something's going on down the alley, he said innocently.
I feel a hook/trap.
Don't need an augury spell for that one.
Flashheart, isn't this the moment you scream, "Don't worry, Nell"?
But you do hear the sounds of like, it sounds like
someone's beating someone up.
It sounds like somebody's beating up. Well, it sounds like they're either beating, robbing, probably both.
It's a proper mugging.
It could be a mugging.
A proper mugging.
We can mug the mugger and like get twice the
double mugger.
Double mugger.
Mugger. Sounds like a Pac-Man sound. Mugger. Yeah, I think this might be the time we want to stroll down here and look for some trouble.
So Farina, is Otto with you?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I could send Otto down. That'd probably shake up the bad guys. Yeah, Otto's with me.
Well, it depends. If it's like a 15-foot tall demon dude, then
Yeah.
Or
When we get down
alternative-
here, most likely it's gonna be demons beating up other demons. So we just have to prepare ourselves. And we have to choose a side.
or alternatively, I could send Siggy as a flyover to give us at least some information before we move.
That's fine. But yeah, Otto is with me. I'm not going anywhere in this godforsaken place without him.
Okay.
Bartos has a rat. He might fit in better here.
Either way,
Alley rat.
that makes perfect sense. So just let me know. I figured the bird would be up high enough not to garner much attention, but you never know. An owl in this place might be an immediate.
Yeah, there's probably little weird things flying all over the place in this city, I would think.
Yeah.
Storm looks at you and says, "Hey, I'm right here."
I'm right here.
So if you want to send the rat, he could probably give us some information without being noticed.
Yeah, he's probably the safest bet without arousing suspicions. I'm sure there's lots of rats around here.
They're demon rats.
They're demon rats. Baru's like, hi guys. And they're like, call yourself a rat. You're hardly even demonic.
They got New York City rats here.
All right. So you send Baru into the alleyway?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to switch.
You're sending me a rat into an alley, kind of on the nose there, buddy, huh? Stereotype much?
He's been typecast. All right. I'm going to see if this works here. All right. That is not what I hoped to show you guys. There we go. Ah, perfect. All right. So can you guys see this okay?
Yep.
All right. You should be able to see that. I don't have Illendar and Storm here. One moment. Oh.
You don't have the name of Gatto.
What do I have? Yeah.
That's because he's a heretofore unknown drow.
There we go.
Drow Gatto.
All right. So you guys are sort of on the street, and kind of like hear this stuff down the alley. Baru kind of goes down there, and sort of in a little alcove of the alley, she can see that there is what looks to be a tiefling, maybe dressed as a merchant of some sort, and surrounding him are 5 demons. You don't think you've ever seen this kind of demon before. So let me describe them for you. So it looks like they're gangly but muscular hyena-headed humanoid demons. They have patchy fur. They're wearing, sort of like this cruddy armor and stuff like that. There's 5 of them, and they're sort of pushing this guy around. They're sort of pushing him back and forth, like, you came down the wrong alley for a leak, didn't you? He's like, I don't want. The guy's like, look, I don't want any trouble. I don't need anything.
Bartos will translate that to everybody through Baru's eyes.
Can Otto get around that building?
Don't worry about it right now, Les.
Okay.
Can Otto get around that? I guess that'd be the east side of those buildings. Or I.
No. There's a building like over here. Yeah, no. There's like there's no way to get around into there. Those buildings are up against each other.
So this one's up against something else. Okay.
It's like the street, yeah. But these 2 buildings are next to each other, like here and here. So there's no way to kind of come around from the side.
Oh, I see. That'd be too damn easy.
So yeah, these guys are pushing them, and then one guy just sort of rears back and smacks the guy in the face. Oh, come on! He's like a little blood coming out of his mouth, and they're like,
"Oh, you guys want to set up an ambush? I can put an arrow in one of them from a distance and maybe draw their attention our way."
So looking around, how tall are these buildings, Les?
Pretty tall. You're not supposed to necessarily be able to see directly in them, but they're
I don't care what's in them.
They're reasonably tall, probably 4 or 5 stories.
Oh, 4 or 5 stories. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to charter people.
So just so I know, do we kill all 6 of them or just 5?
I think just 5 because we need one to get out and tell the story.
Yeah.
Not to mention the one of them seems like a merchant, and we have some merchant stuff that people are looking for, like scrolls and such. So.
Well, in that case, then 4. I think we should make that a running. We could make that a running gag. You tell them we're coming.
Kill 4. Okay.
They need to live to tell the tale.
Yeah.
What are we, the Dread Pirate Roberts now?
That's right. Good job, Demon.
We'll probably kill you in the morning.
In the morning.
Sleep well.
Like, I forget what movie it was where they're talking about, like, they did this and they killed everybody. It goes, well, if they killed everybody, who knows the story? How do you know the story?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, if there were no survivors, how do we know the story then?
All right, so Baru, I think, comes back to Bardos and says, you've basically got 5. These guys they don't know you're there, or they don't care.
Hey, Les, while Baru is running there and coming back,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send Storm just up to the top of the building to see if it's level enough to kind of stand on, or there's something up there you can stand on.
Storm, it's got a pitch to it, but Storm's like, I could be up here easily, but I don't know, people in boots maybe.
Okay, all right, never mind.
So you want Storm to stay up there?
No, I was going to have a Storm Fairy. Those of us who like to stay away from people and kill people at range, I was going to give us a perch, but if that's not a very good perch, then that won't work.
That what she will tell you is that south building has a flat top.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's also like 4 stories high, but
It's got a flat top.
It's got a flat top and a couple of chimneys.
I'll look specifically at Bardos and Farina and see if either one of them want to go with me to that roof.
Absolutely.
Sniper's nest.
All right, so you load them up on Storm, and Storm
has
the harness.
Even without the helicopter thing, her saddle has seats for 2.
Right, and it's got also like grabbers, right?
Yeah.
People can sort of like wrap their hand in. They're hanging, but it's for short flights. It's not a big deal.
And just out of curiosity, how many stories is the flat roof building in the back?
4, I think.
This one?
The south one is 4.
The one with the flat roof.
4 stories high.
So that's 45 feet.
Probably a little more closer to 60. A lot of demons are large.
Or tall. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm not going to go up there because that would put me out of healing range.
Yeah, Bardos is going to stay down on the ground too.
Okay. So just Farina?
And Illendar.
Okay. And Storm.
Well, Storm's going to drop them off, but then Storm's going to go have fun. Okay.
All right. So, do we want to roll initiative? So nobody's going to enter the alley until Illendar and Farina and Storm get to the roof, right?
And Storm comes back down.
And Storm flies back out. So Storm is kind of like
I would say let's do initiative right as Illendar and Farina touch down, like probably in the middle of this roof.
Okay.
And then we'll do initiative, and then so Storm will start up on top, but she's going to come down and join.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Well, first roll of the night for me. Why is it doing this?
Doing what?
There we go. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
I have a huge problem.
What's the matter?
I can't do mine off my icon, and if I let Gordon roll for me, I'll have like a 4.
You're gonna have a 4.
I roll a 24 for me.
Just roll and have Les put it in for you.
I'm going to. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I can't wait for a 4 this time.
I know.
Right?
I've got a +8, so it's not going to be a 4. But I think Gordon would still manage a 4.
Look at that.
There
nice.
we go.
26. All right, I'm having a devil of a time getting you in there.
Yeah, love you, Gordon, but your dice rolling is almost as bad as mine.
Well, it's not bad for him, but for
Whoa. Flashheart actually rolled decent for.
Wow.
He is inspired.
The shining art. Yeah, he is. He wants some chaotic evil demons to.
Yeah, you don't know where he got it, but somehow I know he's chewing a piece of hay.
Now, Les, when you said south building, did you mean this one or did you mean this one?
That one, the very south, this one right here.
Okay.
So, and the roof is about 60 feet up. So that would be your range increment for that kind of stuff.
Not for a longbow. Longbow.
Oh no, I mean whatever. I didn't mean range increment.
That's the range.
That's the range. Yeah.
Right.
Does anybody else need me to get their thing, or is everybody's on there?
Initiative just as Farina, Illandar, and Storm touch down on this building then?
No, it'll be a minute until Storm gets back to where the other guys are. So they'll touch down, and then Storm will fly
Storm
back.
to do his first attack from up there, then we can start with
Yeah,
that.
Storm's just going to wait, and once they get around the corner, Storm's going to kind of dive down. And
Okay.
Death from above.
All right.
Just position you guys on the roof.
You notice that several of these guys have produced weapons now, and you have a feeling that guy is probably already robbed and is going to be
about to die.
They're going to get rid of him.
Hey, Jennifer, put Farina in the middle of this building down here. Or wherever you want on this building.
I probably want to be around the at probably this corner over here.
Like I said,
go ahead and move your character there.
Right as we touch down, so you're going to be probably first. But yeah, you're starting at this building down here, so.
Is there any kind of shelter left? Is there any kind of knee wall or anything up there?
Not really. It's pretty flat. A little 6-inch battlement, maybe. Just sort of a rim. There are some sort of chimneys behind you as well. Okay. All right. So Farina, you're first. Everybody is going to pretty much get a surprise round at this point. You do see, though, that as you're looking down, Farina, you're throwing an arrow, I assume. You look down and you see the first of these creatures stab the guy in the back. Now, he's definitely placed that weapon so it is not immediately lethal. It's not like he stabbed him right in the chest. Stabbed him sort of in the kidney, but he did give him a stab, and they're all laughing.
Bleed out.
Which guy did the stabbing?
This guy right here.
That's the
I
guy.
choose to die first.
I'll mark him with
Die
a
first.
Oh, good God.
Oh, nat 20. It is not a confirmed. Wait.
Actually, it's 5 higher. No, this is her second attack.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it's not a confirm. That's her
Oh,
second.
no, it'd be 5 higher.
It's not the right number. It's not the right plus.
Right, should have been plus 14, not plus 9.
So I was rolling my second before I saw.
This is the second attack.
So that would be a 21.
A 21? That is
Yeah.
a confirmed crit.
Yay!
So do you want the chart?
Of course, I'm a chart.
No, it's triple damage with your bow, right?
I do, but charts are so damn fun.
It's great to hear what they do.
I like that. All right, nice. First roll. Ooh, paper cut is called. Target suffers max damage and a -4 penalty on attack roll, skill checks, and ability checks for 1d4 rounds. So max damage. What is your maximum damage for that arrow?
Well, he's evil, so it's going to be double damage, right, Mike? 4d6.
It's going to be 24 plus whatever your plus is. Your standard plus is on your sheet.
Yeah, 20 plus just the 3 per for every one, or 3.
Okay, so yeah, 27 points of damage.
27 points. And go ahead and roll a d4. Three rounds. So he's got 3 rounds of those penalties as he's like, ow! The arrow comes down from above and gets him right in the shoulder and cuts across the front and misses his armor, gets past his armor, and makes this big long lash across his thing. And he's like, "Oh God!" He's looking around, and everybody's like, "What's going on?"
Same guy.
Okay.
The next arrow is going to be a lot bigger.
26 is a hit.
So 4d6. And then I'm going to take a 5-foot step back and crouch down.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
These are demons, so they can fly, right?
Don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
That was that was racist, man.
17 points.
Didn't mean it that way, man.
All right, boom. So the next one buries itself in his upper arm, and he's like, "Oh, God!" And you see him sort of stagger backwards. Everyone else is sort of looking at him, including the tiefling. They're all looking at him like, "What the hell just happened?" And then they're like, "Oh, shit." Their eyes are starting to look up to see, they've seen the arrow angles and that kind of stuff. And now they might be worried that they're getting attacked by Vrock slavers. I mean, you guys are pretty close.
They see a smiling Stormface looking over the ledge.
Yeah, they probably are like, "What in the heck is that?" Bartos.
Is that a dragon, Bob?
I'm going to move over to this corner, and then I'm going to cast telekinesis.
Okay. You're going to throw Baru at him?
No, I'm going to do a combat maneuver.
Ooh, okay. You're going to use telekinesis to what?
I think I'm gonna trip this guy.
Okay, hold on. I gotta check. I have to do combat maneuvers. Combat maneuvers once per round. Trip. Resolve these attempts as normal, except that they don't provoke attacks of opportunity. Use your caster level in place of your combat maneuver bonus, and add your intelligence modifier for a wizard. All right. So, what is your caster level? Is 10?
9.
9, and your intelligence modifier?
5.
So plus 14 on your combat maneuver check. Let me check these guys. Their CMD.
Sorry.
Okay. It's not necessarily a walk in the park, but it's not undoable either.
Do I roll this, or is it?
Yeah, it's a roll. It's a combat maneuver roll. Yeah, you're basically pushing the guy down with telekinesis.
Okay, so 14, right?
D20 plus 14.
Plus 14, yep. 22. Combat maneuver defense is... I just had it. I was just literally looking right at it. 26. So he staggers backward and feels it's like, what? And he looks up and he sees you, but he does not fall down.
Okay. Well, I got 9 more times to try that. So.
Okay. Ilindar.
So we're going to Storm first. Storm just steps over the side and just swoops down and kind of...
Like Batman?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically does a charge on this guy right here.
What are you?
But
It's
she's
like
like,
if Batman was a dragon.
can you make her only 10 by 10 as opposed to 15 by 15?
Sure.
He's a little too big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So basically just come down like right on top of this guy and attacking him.
Okay. Pounce. Using pounce?
Yep.
Okay.
Sick balls.
That's a Stand By Me reference.
That's right.
24 claw hits. Second claw hits.
Start with a 30 bite.
Chopper, sick
Yeah.
balls.
Oh, I'd always miss that one. 30 bite. That's a hit. Both claws hit. And 1 wing buffet. So, yeah, everything but 1 wing buffet. So, 27.
So 31.
48. 68. And
68 points of damage.
25. 68 plus 25 is 70, 80, 93. Is that right?
93. Damn.
Bounce is a wonderful thing.
Tear his head right off and gout him.
3,000-pound storm. Drop it on someone.
Oh, yeah. She basically just drops right on him and it's just like, you see her bite right into the guy. And she's like, oh, it tastes terrible. And then claws and, another claw and an independent wing buffet, which I still think is bullshit. But cracks it, and she just basically bites and rakes this guy into pieces. Frankly, he falls into pieces. It goes down. Everybody else is looking incredibly shocked. The tiefling guy who they were mugging is now, I mean, you're not 100% sure, but it could be a little tiefling pee on the floor. That's who he is. What about you, Ilindar? So Storm one shot at the guy.
Hey, where's my? I'm not on the list here, buddy.
Matt's not.
But I'm on the list.
Yeah. What did you roll?
He'll be next after Ilindar. Just remember.
20.
Oh, that's
He
right.
rolled a 20 and he had a +1.
I don't see you
I
on
rolled
here.
19. I had a +1. Yeah, I'm not set up.
Oh,
for
there it
the
is. 20 plus 1.
Yeah.
Okay, 20.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'll add you. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Ilandar's just going to kind of wait.
Okay. After seeing all the damage that you've done, I do. So I do need one thing though. I need
go over the edge.
I need for Storm to make a will save.
Ooh.
Storm a will save.
What'd you get?
An 8.
An 8. Not good. So when Storm jumped down there, she's moving so fast that she just went at this guy and just destroyed him. But she feels like the rest of these guys are emanating some sort of, it's like hallucinations begin to sort of crowd around her, and audio's muddled, and she's having a hard time thinking clearly. So she has come to a hallucinatory aura. Their foul mind-warping magic now gives her -2 penalty on will saves, caster level checks, intelligence, and wisdom-based skill checks as long as they are within range. What are you laughing about?
She bit into a peyote demon. We're in the spirit world.
Okay. Like I said, Ilindar took a 5-foot step. He's done.
Okay. You wouldn't necessarily know that this is happening to her because it's also quick. You are getting a vibe from her that she feels like weirded out.
Yeah. Okay.
So Jennifer, to answer your question, so that is Otto's scent aura. Only you can see that.
Okay.
So anything in the orange, he can smell and know the general direction of if it's invisible. Anything in the closer orange, he knows the exact position of through scent.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I would hope so in that little one.
Yeah, it's 5 feet. So, all right, yeah, but if we forgot Otto. So if you want to go ahead and move him now, we can do that.
I just did. I moved him down there.
Oh, okay, great. All right, Flashheart, your paladin brain is singing with the desire for battle against these demons.
Peyote demons. Why did it have to be peyote demons? All right. I'm gonna move up to let's see. I'm gonna move basically into almost range, so I'll double move for me. That's 1, 2. These are 5-foot steps, right? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, these are 5s.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be a double move right there. Like, good news and bad news, boys. Good news, we're not slavers.
Who the fuck are you?
We're just here to kick your ass.
What are you, some sort of? Get the hell out of here! You're interfering.
We're alley do-gooders.
Gooders? No!
We lurk in the alleys of Alushinyrra, doing good.
Not good, no! So you just walk down there and you just like draw radiance, and radiance is like, or I guess you wouldn't get an attack this round, would you?
No, I'm basically just talking trash for
Okay.
the moment, and we're waiting for everybody else to kind of get in a position. We're all kind of spread all over the place.
Lothar, what about you?
I'm going to move to here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack that one with the bow.
Okay. Twang.
25.
That is a hit.
5 damage. Oh, So it's 2 attack. Well, that was so. Just take the first one. So
Okay.
5 points of damage. Wait, it's plus because he's evil. Yes.
He is evil.
So plus 2d6. I haven't built that into this yet. I need to do that. Plus 5. So 10.
That was only 1d6.
Oh. Well, that
and plus
sucks.
2. Yeah, I think.
Hang on. I hit the wrong thing.
There you go.
So,
Okay. 9, 14. As the arrow leaves Erastel's bow, you feel this sort of like green energy sort of wrap it and speed it onto the thing. Add another 2d6 to the holy energy that's coming out.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So now that bow is going to give you 4d6 against evil creatures when in the name of Erastel.
Okay. So another 6 points.
All right. So 5 plus 9 plus 6 is 20 points even as the arrow, the green tinged arrow buries itself in this guy. Oh, it hits him in the stomach. And he's like, oh, this sucks. I hate do-gooders.
Do-gooders.
Fletcher.
So I positioned here so I could do a charge, but can I charge past Baru? Is he small enough?
Oh, yeah, he's small. He's rat-sized.
Then I am going to pounce to here.
Okay.
Attack this guy.
All right.
First hammer attack.
Ooh. You're charging, and an arrow, a green glowing arrow, flies past you and buries itself in this guy's abdomen as you come up and bounce that hammer right off of his head.
37 damage.
Ooh, max damage. All right, let's see. It doesn't kill him.
He's still alive. Okay.
Yeah, you kabonk that thing off of his head, and it literally sounds like hitting a bowling ball. It's like bonk, and he sits back up and he's like, "What the more do-gooders? Where'd this one come from?" There's blood just coming down his face as he still has his hand. He's trying to like pull that arrow out. He's like, "Why are people hitting me while I'm trying to pull out an arrow?"
All right, second hammer attack.
Ooh, this is gonna suck. That's a hit too. Ooh,
27.
Maximum damage, minimum damage. But in this case, minimum damage is enough. You take that second crack, hit him right back on the top of the head with an overhand thing, and you see his skull kind of go as you have to like wrench the hammer out from his compacted skull case, and he drops to the ground like a bag of dirt.
Whew, that was very vibrant.
Dude, you just firmed my kill.
Oh, you did? That's a verm. Dan gets a verm. All right, very nice.
Note to self: next time, let Dan go first.
All right, next up, Drow Gatto.
Gatto moved down twice, and that's where he's at.
That's it, huh?
Well, I've got a move action, another action, which was another move action, so I'm done.
All right, you're done.
Are you invisible? I don't see you.
No, I'm right.
Looks like a drow.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Did you change pictures?
I am disguised as a drow.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually disguised as a different drow, but don't worry about that right now.
Well, so wait a second. That's kind of ticking me off that I fucked that up. So let me get the other picture I have for you, which is this one, and tell me if this is right. Lost the thing here. Here we go. So I'm just gonna plant it right there. Is that right? This guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that is Drow Caravan Guard, bodyguard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drogato.
Okay. I will get this replaced real quick.
The other one is who I use when I'm doing something clandestine.
Ah, I see.
I'm seeing a theme in some of the games I'm playing with you lately.
Okay, so that is Drow Gatto. It would be normally their turn. However, this was a surprise round with 2 dead, 1 wounded, and everybody sort of freaked out. Oh, Fletcher, I also need you to make a will save.
Pardon me?
I need you to make a will save, buddy. Walked into the hallucinatory aura.
Yicky poos. All right, hold on. That is my will save. Ooh-doo-doo-doo. Why don't I know this? Here we go. +5 +6 +7. Is this charm related magic by any chance?
It's not a charm. It is mind affecting though, if that matters.
Yeah, I think that would still count.
28, you made it. So yeah, you walk in, and as you get close to this guy, you swing him, you kill him, but at the same time, your head is swimming as you're starting to see sort of like, like those little shimmers at the corners of your eyes. You don't think it's interfering with you, but something is definitely going weird here as you get close to these guys. You're starting to feel weird things. Sounds are kind of funky. It's not affecting you, and it doesn't negatively affect your ability to
but
fight.
I know something's going on.
Something's wrong.
I already know that, by the way.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. They've got weird stuff.
So everybody on the roof is like, what did he say?
Meanwhile, Storm is listening to White Rabbit from Jefferson Airplane.
I think they're peyote demons, man.
He's feeling pretty good.
The peyote demons. All right, so these guys
you can see
are
through, man.
back in the initiative order. That this was the surprise round.
Okay.
Now we go into round 1 for Rena. Your turn.
Better get that one before it gets vermed away from you.
You're muted, Jen, if you're talking.
Yeah, the damn barbarian's in the Verm game.
Oh,
now.
Jennifer, you're muted.
Having a great conversation with myself. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm going to protect. I'm not going to give these guys any more firms.
So I love that you guys have gone, let's wipe out these demons too. I have to protect my kill. 30 is a hit. 22 is a hit.
Sweet. Okay, I'm going to put, well, let's see. I guess we'll just do all of it. All of it and just wipe this guy out. Sorry.
So, Chuck, just so you know, that 4d6 holy damage is now permanent on your bow.
Okay.
Nice. When does Fletcher get a cool upgradable weapon?
When Fletcher gets a deity.
Oh,
Oh, snap.
37 points on and it was the guy that you hit. He had that guy you hit before, right?
Yep.
Okay. He had 32 points. So, yep, those 2 arrows finish him off, and he goes backwards against the thing. He's like, oh, I hate do-gooders. Roofborn. We got alley do-gooders and rooftop do-gooders.
Okay, I'm going to move Otto now.
Okay.
So to get by here, he would take a potential attack of opportunity.
Where's he? It depends. Where's he going? From
There, yes, from the top guy.
I guess I
yeah, from the top guy he would.
I'll just take him here and have him attack once.
Okay.
And he's flanking now with Storm, correct?
No.
Oh, and this guy's doesn't count for flanking.
No. This guy's losing his shit. He's like, do-gooders.
Is that count for flanking right there?
No.
Well, the Storm's too far
Storm's too far away.
Oh, I thought Storm had reach. I'm sorry.
Not that reach, no.
Not like that.
Okay, that's fine. He's just going to attack this guy.
Okay, he's gonna give him a little munch.
Give him a little chew.
Does Otto have pounce too? Does he get a full attack after moving?
No.
I think he does not have pounce. Okay, so just a single attack.
Yeah. One bite. Oh, and now he doesn't have to bite, does he? Or would that be metagaming? Because I know that Storm had a reaction to biting.
Oh, he didn't have. Well, no, he doesn't have to bite.
It wasn't biting.
Which one?
It wasn't.
Which natural attack you use?
Yeah, there's an aura. With bites, you can trip, possibly too.
That's what I was just going to say. I'll try the bite.
Okay.
Okay. Dun, 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 ding.
23 is a hit.
And then I need to roll my CMB.
CMB, right. That's your bonus. You roll D20 plus your CMB. The target here is 26. 17 did not trip him with a natural 2. But a good shot. So now I need a will save from Otto because he is in the area of mental. He's a coyote demon.
That's damage.
Ooh, and he is affected as well.
No, that wasn't Will.
That was damage.
Oh, that was a D8. Okay, sorry. Oh, that's the bite damage?
Yeah.
Does
No, I'm doing the will now. What do I have to roll for a will?
will save is 17 or better.
17. Okay. Oh, come on. Auto. Shite.
Wow.
No, did not make it. All right, so first things first, let's get the damage on this guy.
He's enjoying the trip.
Okay, and so you now have -2 on your will saves, caster level checks, intelligence based, and wisdom based skill checks. That probably will not hurt him as much.
Nope.
So, but if he has to make any decisions, they're going to be impacted. He's seeing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Okay.
There's mice coming out of the walls. All right, Bardos.
You goodness coming out of the walls, man.
Okay, I'm going to try to grapple this guy.
Grapple him with the telekinesis?
Yep.
All right, give it a shot. Nope. He's like, what is around me?
All right, that's all I got.
That's all you're going to do? Ilandario. Are you going to let your dragon do your fighting for you? Or do you got any guts? He's going to let his dragon do his fighting for him.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
He's much better at it than I am, so.
I got you.
Take a 5-foot step up.
All right.
And attack this guy.
All right. So this guy is, you're not sure what his problem is, but he's swatting at stuff. And
Which, with her vision going on, he probably looks like he's standing still to her.
he's just doing some sort of shimmy dance. Oh, okay. Bite hits. Claw hits. Second claw
Potential
misses.
crit.
That is a potential crit. Buffet misses. Second Buffet hits. So 21 points.
I'm going to do the same thing again to see if that first claw is an actual crit.
Okay.
32.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a crit. That's a confirmed crit.
Start.
So let's do the non-crit damage. Non-crit is 27 plus 16, which is math, 43. Okay, so yeah, so 43 points of non-crit damage. All right, so do you want the chart, or do you want that? Is natural attacks? Do they have damage modifiers for crit?
It's just double, so yeah, I always do chart with.
Who wants the chart?
You want the chart? Okay, so natural attack, moderate crit. Ooh, punctured lung, max damage, and 3 rounds he begins to drown in his own blood. So what is max damage for that?
Sounds like such a 2020 injury.
20 damage.
Well, no, it's not, because I can see that it's 15 points of damage plus 9 points of holy damage. So that's 24 right there.
It's 20
And it doubled.
physical. Does it get doubled with the crit?
No, it does not.
Oh, okay.
So it's 20 plus the 8 points of holy, so it's 28 total.
28.
Well, holy damage is maximized as well. So it's 32 by my reckoning.
Okay. I'll go with
D8,
that.
D8 plus 12 is 20, plus 2d6 would be 12, so 32 points total.
Yes.
And in 3 rounds, he begins drowning in his own blood. So this is where he's at. You're going to like this.
Yeah. You won't last too long.
Ooh, I smell a verm.
There's another verb there's verb in the air. All right, so Illidar, that is Storm. Illidar, are you personally doing anything? Like, you're going to finish that off and get yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, finish him.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to use the.
A rock? You just like off a 4-story building.
Toss a barrel on his head.
Crossbow.
You going to shoot a crossbow?
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Oh, wow, I don't have.
Is it loaded?
A macro?
I don't have I don't ever use that. Since I got the new bow.
You got to do the old-fashioned way.
Oh, I've got to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm so embarrassed. Hang on 1 second.
No, I wasn't embarrassed until you said that.
Now we all are.
Now she's embarrassed for you.
So, first attack.
You might not need a second.
Yeah, that's a hit. I can't believe you're hitting anything with a crossbow.
It's a drow crossbow, even. It's one we stole off of a dead drow.
That's a good point.
So,
You got any poison on that thing?
and the second attack missed.
Okay. Yeah, that's a miss. So,
So damage is,
is it more than 2?
yes, it's 2
Maybe.
dice. So even if I roll 12 dice, it's gonna be
Bigger than a bread box?
All right. Well, if it's more than 2, that's going to kill him. So you basically shoot him from 4 stories up with a crossbow.
It's a hand.
What
it's
are
a
those
hand
pistols?
crossbow.
It's a hand crossbow.
So it's like
So it's just like,
a 4 or 5 inch little bolt.
yeah, it's not very big. So Storm is getting ready to attack this guy again. He's already like staggering backward. He was trying to fend off telekinesis, and all of a sudden it's just like, boop. You see basically something that looks like this. I don't know if you can even see it. Sort of sticking out of his head. And he gets this weird look on his face, and he falls over. I can't get the balance. But yeah, basically, boink, it just goes right in the top of his head from 4 stories up. And all you see is like an inch of the bolt sticking out like out of his head, like a little chimney. And he goes down. Bardos, you're not sure who did that, but that pissed you off because you were busily trying to grab this guy and nothing. So yeah, so you're probably going to kill Lindar later. Just saying.
Yeah, I got 7 more turns, and I'm going to turn it on the people if I can't do.
Bardos, you feel your alignment slipping to the dark side.
All right, so that's Illindar. Flashheart, what about you?
And that does not count as a verm.
All right.
Why?
He vermed Storm.
He burned himself.
Yeah, you can't verm yourself.
Oh, that's true. It does not count as
That's just shenanigans.
No. No, I just protected my getting vermed off of numbers.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to hit this guy, but I'm not going to holy smite him. I'm just going to do the regular old.
Just regular old sword strike.
Vanilla strike, yeah.
Okay. 28's a hit.
Oh.
14 points of radiance damage.
Okay, and then he has 2 more attacks here. Well,
Okay.
actually, I moved up, so I don't think I get it.
So,
It's
yeah.
only after the full attack.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it for you then.
Yeah.
All right, their turn. And by their, I mean,
Why do they get inserted in between Lothar and Fleshheart?
What?
how did he get it? That guy shouldn't be there. It's Lothar's turn. Sorry.
There we go.
Oh, was it my turn? Oh, okay.
No, it's Lothar's turn. He's out.
Lothar's up. Sorry, you're right.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know where that guy came from.
Lothar's getting upset.
Well, no, it doesn't really matter because I can't do anything anyway. I don't have a precise shot. So if I move and try to fire at this guy, there's just as likely a chance I'll hit Flashheart.
Decisions.
Which, maybe not everybody would be all that unhappy about.
I say go for it.
But my idea was to move 20 feet.
Okay.
And then have a shot at that guy. But since I see Flashheart is going to take care of that, I'm just going to pause.
Okay.
So you can... I'm not really going to... Well, I guess I am ready in action. If anything happens to Flashheart, that he is forcibly moved out of the way or falls,
Okay.
I'm going to shoot that guy with an arrow. Otherwise, my initiative will go down to the end.
You're just like this, like I've got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
All right, cool.
Lothar might have taken a vow of chastity, but even he agrees that Flashheart's too pretty to die.
You guys remember the Keep One Alive game? That
What?
I thought
Still
this was the
alive.
guy that we were going to keep alive.
Well, he could tell the story. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. We should probably get our shtick down, before the next street fight. But we should leave somebody alive to tell the story. Otherwise, it was all for naught to build our rep.
Well, we've got the merchant. Like I said, he'll owe us, and he can tell the tale.
He'll probably get killed by the next
Yeah,
gang
I
of
tried
demons
to
he's gotta
prep
tell it to. Yeah. It's like, this is an unbelievable story. Kill him. Do-gooders in the alley.
Or you could drag the bodies out into the street and declare the alley free of ruffians. All right, so Lothar, you're ready to action. You're going to peg that guy if Flashheart falls down or something.
Or gets out of the way, yeah.
Okay, Fletcher.
So I will, since my pounce got taken away from me, I'll come around this way to here.
All right, so you're going around.
Yep.
The southern end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Single attack
Well,
on
the merchant gets an attack opportunity if he wants to take it.
He's busy shitting himself. He's seeing these guys that were. He's
I
seeing
say,
these
pardon
guys.
me,
That,
excuse me, coming by.
yeah, he's just like as you kind of rock by.
He's probably covered in arterial spray.
That's a hit. 30 damage with the hammer.
And I let go of the hammer.
Okay, so he is locked down. You see him sort of like struggling to move. All right, now Draugato is up. Draugato.
I think it's a better name than Gato. You need to stick with that one.
Draugato.
Draugato.
Pull my sword at this guy and say, "Pray that I let you live."
What, who, the merchant?
Yeah, what do I care?
You're threatening the merchant? There seems to be a rapidly advancing moist spot on the front of his tunic.
Okay. That was a double move action again also.
All right. I get a turn. Hey, this is great. All right. So he says a word in Abyssal, and darkness surrounds him. Like this. Now do you guys see that?
Yeah.
We
Okay,
still
cool.
see it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so darkness surrounds him. Okay. Oh, wait.
But there's this glowing sword.
There is.
Right. Can't be darked out, right?
I hate that. I hate that about you guys.
That's why they call it radiance.
I do need Flashheart and Draugato to roll will saves
Oh, that's right.
against the hallucinations while I figure out what the hell this guy's gonna do with his only turn.
Die.
Yeah, probably.
Guy screaming.
18 made it.
1 second.
But barely. There's some weird shit going on in your vision.
It's an enchantment, though, isn't
It is, yes, it's
I make it?
mind warping magic. Yeah, Flashheart, you made it too.
Right, so mine would have been a 20, actually. +2 versus enchantment spells because of my elven...
Well, then that would have failed.
Yeah.
It's like
That's what I got.
Spider-Man fighting Mysterio.
Elven blood.
Does question for you, Dan, does the hammer preclude teleport? Does it keep them from
Yes,
teleporting?
it sure does. That's the main reason I did it.
I really regret giving that to you. All right, so he cranked up the darkness, and then he would have
Probably would have tried
to teleport and found himself unable to, which would be his turn. I hate that. That's what he would have done. All right, top of round 2, Farina.
Now Otto is flanking.
Yeah.
Now Otto is flanking. Wait. Oh, yes, he is.
with Fletcher.
Let's give Otto a shot first and see.
Okay.
He never gets to have fun.
No, he doesn't. Does not usually.
Poor Otto.
14, 13.
Poor Otto.
And does he?
Keep this guy long enough for me to attack the merchant.
Is that guy prone?
I'm alive? Is that what you're telling me now?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, nat 20.
And a 27.
And a 27. Both of those are hits.
Well, that was
Another-
the confirm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a crit.
That's
So,
confirmed.
wait,
Oh.
Otto crit bit?
Yep, he crit bit.
Crit bit.
Crit bit.
Crit bit.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that counts as bites. So
Oh.
you get his exercise in.
Deep wound, max damage plus bonus, and the victim is nauseated for 1 round, meaning he can't do shit.
What's the bonus?
I can't do shit. I've been crit bit.
Oh, 8 plus 8, so 16. That would be 16.
Like
Hold on a
Dr.
second.
Seuss in hell.
I can't do shit.
I got it.
I've been crit bit.
It's the Alushinyrra Dr. Seuss here.
I've been crit bit on a boat.
All right, so
An alley with a goat.
how much damage did he do? So he gets, so it's
16.
max plus bonus. So bonus damage means you go ahead and roll the damage for the bite too, and add that. So he has 16 points is max.
Yeah, and then
Okay, and then go ahead and roll like you were rolling regular. That's the bonus damage.
16.
Oh, max damage. Nice.
So 32 total.
Yeah, on his bite.
Yeah, he bit him in the leg and caught what passes for a demonic femoral artery. You see this guy throw up, and then he falls to the ground.
It's safe to say I tripped him.
Yeah, he's tripped.
He's tripped.
He's missing a leg.
And his blood
turned
is
him into beef
pouring
jerky.
out of that leg. Yeah, basically, you did. Yeah, you critted. You got him right in the Otto got him right in the femoral artery, and he drops down. This guy is shaking because all of this has happened in like 12 seconds. You guys appear out of nowhere. There's a friggin' dragon. Everybody comes running in. These guys are all dead. All the guys that were threatening him, and he's like, "Please, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me."
Loot the guys.
Is the darkness gone?
Oh yeah, the darkness is gone too.
Otto runs back the way he came,
Okay.
just to keep an ear out for people coming down that alley.
So he's watching. There's a ton of people out there, but none of them are paying a whole lot of attention to you guys.
Yeah. We can drag the bodies out and say, "Meat's back on the menu, boys."
So yeah, we drop out of initiative. All of the demons are dead. You guys are in this alley. Nobody else is here except for this guy who you're pretty sure is dressed like a merchant. What do you do or say? He's basically begging for his life. He's like, "Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I've got money. I'll give you whatever you want." Blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
I'll say.
okay.
Yeah.
If you thought only the GM saw that, Otto, it didn't work.
Tieflings aren't necessarily lawful evil, right?
Not necessarily. Why? Do you want to check this guy?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure I want to know the answer, but sure.
He's evil.
Evil. While he's doing that, I'm going to pick up my hammer and start searching these bodies.
Okay.
I will try not to get stabbed in the crotch then. I'll say, "Little tiefling friend, nothing to worry about here. We've just saved you from these demons. These ruffians." And I will lay my hand on his shoulder and do a little lay on hands.
Okay, and heal the stab wound to the kidney.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's got to be a pretty remarkable feat for the
Wouldn't be used to that. Yeah.
Yeah, he would not be used. He's like, "What are you doing? Who are you people? Why did you intervene? What's going on?"
I mean, if you want us to find another pack of ruffians to finish you off, we can.
No. That's fine. Thank you for saving me. I'm in your debt. My name is Melkor. I run the potionary down on Hadrak Street. Please come and see me. I can't thank you enough. Come and see me. I will reward you. I will give you a reward for saving me. I think these demons meant to kill me, and I don't know why.
Just make sure you tell people what happened.
Seems like a fair wage.
Who shall I tell them? Who shall I tell them rescued me?
The
guys. Yeah.
Alleyway do-gooders.
The Fellowship of Unwilling Participants.
Yeah. Now we want to say that one. The ADG, the Alleyway do-gooders. Yeah.
The Alleyway do-gooders. The ADG.
I think we need a better name than that.
Hey, we're
the Alleyway / rooftop do-gooders.
I say we're the do-gooders, but hey, we're workshopping the name right now, so just
work in progress.
We have several demons out on it doing marketing focus group studies because all the focus groups are on the lower planes here. That is a circle of hell.
And he's like, "Okay, I'll tell everybody." And he's like, and he like sort of shoulders past you and kind of runs out into the alley. Otto sees him. Sort of scuttle away, about half a block, and then he jumps into a cab.
Okay. He said he was Melkor down on whatchamacallit Street, right?
Yeah. So the potion.
His name's Melkor. It's Melkor's Potioners down on Hadrak Street.
Okay.
You can always use potions.
Yeah.
All right.
And
so we've done our good deed for the day. Loot the bodies.
So you check these bodies, and they do have a little bit of money on them. One So they have between them, they have 37 Alushinyrra gold pieces. And they also have a bag, which you think was the bag they took from the money they took from the guy.
So 37
total. They didn't have much money.
gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this city's gold pieces.
Right. That's I'm keeping.
Yeah, Alushinyrra mint. And then they had a bag that you suspect, because it's much higher quality than the stuff that they have on. It's like a nice bag that has 150 gold pieces in it.
Do you want to give it back to the guy? I think not. I think that's
he's already jumped in a cab. But you guys, if you guys go down to the potioners, you might return it to him. It's up to you.
right now. You can hang on to it.
I don't know. Keeping a found wallet. That's a good act, right?
This is tip money for. Let me check.
Not so much.
Oh, you gotta check the book. Oh,
If either Fleshart or Gatto.
Flashheart look at the book and then he'll look up. Come on.
We're gonna have to write some of these down of the items prohibited by the Paladin book. Just keep a running list.
It's going to be a very long list.
Yeah.
They have weapons. They have these sort of long falchions that they never took out. They never got the chance to take out. Several of them have daggers, one of which looks to be a masterwork dagger, perhaps made of adamantine. It's very hard and very sharp. But the rest is all sort of normal demon trash.
Just like my wit.
No armor. That's
okay. So
well, they're wearing. So they're kind of hyena demons. So their armor is kind of scabby and kind of busted up. None of it radiates magic.
Okay. So 37 gold and an adamantine dagger, and then 150 gold from the bag that belonged to, what was the guy's name?
Melkor from Melkor's Potioners on Hadrack Street.
Well, we can't return it to him because we don't know how to find him.
That dragon is making me nervous.
Dragon.
Fletcher looks at Flashheart and then looks at Gatto and puts the bag in his own pocket.
That's a twofer. All right, so that guy runs off. What are you going to do? Are you going to do with the bodies or anything like that?
Unless we want to drag them, let's think this out. If we drag them out to show,
we're going to human centipede them.
That is on page 1 of the Paladin book.
Yeah, as they say, check the Paladin book. That's a definite no.
Mutilating the corpses of your enemies is definitely right on the top of the list.
Well, you don't do it.
Just leave them where they lie.
Hey, friends. Sweet dreams. Gotta go.
You gotta jet, Eric.
Bye, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Thanks for hanging there, man. Hope you enjoyed it.
I did. You guys are doing all the things. It's
well, except the ones we don't do.
All right. So you guys take that money and you exit the alley, having done your do good, and you get a notoriety point.
We'll carve runes into the ground, saying that this alley is free of peyote demons.
Noir was here.
Noir was here. So I mean, do you put some images there or a magic rune that says ADG?
Yeah, something like that.
Prime material plain rocks.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Well, you guys got a notoriety point, which could increase depending on what Melkor does, and you have defeated five demons. Fantastic. So I assume that you guys, after such a delightful street fight, head back to the Worm Empire for the Drow dinner later, and to meet with Felipe.
We're going to be around this town for a
while.
Much
better mood.
Yeah. If we're going to be around this town for a while, should we stop leaving piles of bodies everywhere like you do in a dungeon? Should we have like a John Wick system where we get a cleaner group to come pick up the bodies for us?
Well, no, I think part of the notoriety is to leave the bodies.
Yeah.
I just want to have a John Wick stack of coins. Like I got 12.
Well, that is the currency.
Do anything to the bodies, or leave any sort of like note, or like an Ace of Spades card, or something like.
We arrange them so they're scissoring, and then leave them like that.
So that's something that you could do. I mean, if you guys wanted to get like some cards printed up that are like, do-gooders from the prime material, This body, courtesy of do-gooders from the Prime Material. I just leave them there or something like that. It's up to you guys, but I think that would be kind of a cool idea. It would
Another
certainly increase your notoriety.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to talk about it on the off week here and decide to
All right.
our name up.
Well, it is after 11. We're
Unwilling do-gooders.
Do-gooders. All right.
The unwilling do-gooders.
Unwilling do-gooders. I like it.
Les, when was the last time you sent out XPs?
I don't do that anymore.
Aren't we the 13th level by now?
1964.
I haven't sent out XPs. All right. So, no, that's legit.
The last one I've got is from May.
Really? That long?
At least that's what I've got. So if you've getting them out since then I'm just behind on emails or something.
I'll tell you what. I will get everyone up to date on XP this week, and I'll send that out this week.
Just make a deity.
Thank you.
And I'll get it up to date through this battle.
Okay.
Through this battle, like do.
Sounds good. All right, Traveler next week, and then A-Team again as we slide into October.
I'm looking forward to being on the gin and tonic here.
September just roared past, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
So,
hopefully we can get out the rest of this month without being destroyed by a hurricane.
Yeah.
11 coming at us.
Yeah. Are you? So Chuck, are you in any kind of danger down there from the additional hurricanes? Or
Beta.
Dan, are you?
No, Beta. All of them have been like rocking over New Orleans and Texas. They've been leaving Florida alone. So.
Chuck, are you gonna be okay? Or I know hurricanes don't bother you that much. Houston's kind of far though, isn't it?
I guess I already got him.
My Texas geography is loose.
I don't think Beta's going to bother him, at least. I think some of the early ones might have.
He wanted to respond, but a hurricane took out his power.
Yeah, it took out his internet.
All right. Well, I will let you guys go. Great gaming tonight. Thank you so much. And we'll be back with Traveler next week.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Back in Alushinyrra in 2 weeks.
Yep.
All right. See y'all.
Adios.
What did I do wrong here? Night, Chuck, wherever you are.